not. We should be live. Okay, hopefully everyone's hearing us. Let me drop the open
Welcome
on these
back
people.
to the Hank Strange Situation. Lifestyles of the locked
Make
and
sure
loaded.
you subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell so you could be notified. Come on, dudes, let's do jazz hands. Come on, jazz hands. Here we go. Hold on, let me do. Walter's got a special jazz hands going on.
Dual wield and Smith & Wesson jazz hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Babyface P is here as well. He's jazz handing it up. Okay, we are live. We are live. I hope you got your big girl panties on. It's Wednesday, but I missed my haircut, so I'm not as sharp as I usually am on Wednesdays. Yeah, I miss a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So
how'd your birthday party go?
It wasn't a birthday party really. Just hung out with my son. He came home from school, but he had some stuff going on with his car that we had to deal with earlier.
That's always fun.
In the day, yeah. The window was broken, the regulator on the passenger side, so I had to deal with that situation. And we don't do parties and stuff like that. We just hang out.
Well,
with
I mean,
each other.
how'd the gathering go?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't want anyone to think that,
You were out
I'm very
having
private when it comes to those things. I just try to hang out with my kids and talk to them and stuff like that.
And they're like, Dad, can we just go to Applebee's? Like,
they don't want to
I don't want to sit and talk.
Can I please have a normal birthday?
Can I just go have dinner?
Like my friends do?
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a lecture going on as you guys.
I knew it.
It was just a little one, just a little.
It's always the worst. And this is for the younger people out there, is when you're like excited to tell your parents about something, and then they start lecturing about something on it. Like, oh, I tried this the other day, and they're like, it can be really dangerous if you do that and that. And you're like, come on.
Oh boy, yeah, I know. I'm kind of terrible that way. I'm trying to convince him to, because he has to declare a major. I'm trying to convince him to major in filmmaking.
Engineering. Do something that'll actually make.
Well, I think filmmaking is good. It's a good industry, filmmaking, and he goes to the best filmmaking school in the country. I think FSU. They've got best.
Sorry, I didn't laugh out loud.
Yeah. Oh, you don't agree with that?
I
country? No.
I think in the country they won an Oscar last year.
It's good, but
Yeah,
best.
I think it's better than California just by not being in California. So, so anyway, we could get so deep into that. We can go and he actually has a film, and he has a YouTube channel, which
Doesn't.
yeah, he made a movie. He made a movie. He has a YouTube channel. So Lola's watched it. It's been kind of crazy. So I've got to watch it and talk to him about it and stuff like that. But he's doing my older son.
Him on it.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. He's doing stand-up comedy and all that kind of stuff.
I didn't even know your kids could. They've always been so quiet around me.
Yeah. Well, that's because of me. That's because I'm so loud and obnoxious.
Overbearing.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
I don't know how that could be.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Walter. So, anyway, let's see. This is episode 406 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Yes, gentlemen, 406. 406, and we're like in June. We're in June. It's 406.
June's almost gone, homie.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. We got a couple days left. We got a few days left in June. Did we get into hurricane season or not yet? I can't
Beginning
remember.
of June 1st.
Yeah, we're in hurricane season in
Quiet so
Florida.
far.
Yeah, at
Very
some
quiet.
point here, we have to do the hurricane or emergency preparedness podcast. I don't know when.
So what does that entail?
I don't
Water,
know.
gasoline, fill up your car. Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Batteries.
Go buy a month's worth of beer.
Yeah.
And vodka.
Yes. Stack it away.
Right.
When the
Walter,
apocalypse comes.
we're supposed to do a video, Walter, where we get an old generator and fix it up, but I don't know what the heck is going on.
I ain't found a suitable candidate yet.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna spend any money.
Gotta find someone has to get on this. Find a generator not working that someone's willing to give us.
Someone that just I have what I need to tune up, but it runs. I know it runs.
Yeah.
So.
If you have or know of a generator that's not working, that someone doesn't want anymore, maybe you saw it out on the curb, the garbage. Yeah, let us know, because we might be interested in it so that we can do a video on that, like just to, because Walter can do it. We hope.
I probably if it turns over and it has compression, it'll run. As I say.
You can get it running, no problem.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's coming up stuff. We're getting up there. Tonight we're going to talk about the NRA TV going on pause because that happened. NRA TV.
Lola says no more projects.
Oh yeah, I know, Lola. Don't pay no attention to that. NRA TV is on pause. Google's planning on hacking the 2020 elections. Yes, all that stuff is going on. A bunch of other things here that we are going to talk about tonight. Also, I know, I don't know. Let me see. There's a couple of other things I want to talk about. If you're coming in right now, smash the thumbs ups. Okay, ring the bell so you could be notified here. Throw your comments up. Oh, yeah. Let's get those going.
I gotta go watch this video. Yeah, Yankee Marshall calls me out. I'll go watch it later.
Yeah, share it if you can. And as Babyface is saying, I guess last week there were a lot of comments. I'm expecting there'll probably be some people in here. But Yankee Marshall,
5 downvotes already. It's getting good.
Oh, good. Okay, so so I guess last week Yankee Marshall called me out or something at the end of his video where he was in a little tete-a-tete with Twang and Bang. Which I don't know how. I don't know. It's. Go ahead, baby.
So what did he call you out on? Because the one that I sent on Monday was where he invited you on the podcast tomorrow night. Did he have another call out somewhere else?
No, he didn't. It's not really an invite, so I gotta say that.
No.
And your picture went out for some reason, Babyface. Your picture went out. It's just like I can kind of see you here. But, yes, you're back. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't really think that's an invite, so to speak.
No, it's not, for sure.
Yeah, I looked at it. I don't think it's really an invite. And I did put up a video on this whole thing for anyone who needs to get the full explanation of it.
I came to the conclusion. I assume that he lives in Washington. I think he lives in Washington somewhere. Mm-hmm. That's right. Am I wrong there?
Yeah, I think you would be right.
I feel like it's so dirty to call in his mob squad on his side to come vote down his electoral issues. Because they're outnumbered, and I don't know. It just feels so skeezy to put out stuff like that and be like, you must go support this. If you're not, you're not a real man. You know what I mean? Like, it feels so dirty.
Everyone's fighting for the Second Amendment, and I think that, yes, there are some specific cases in different states and things like every single state is under attack when it comes to the Second Amendment, when it comes to guns, right? Every state is under attack right now. Freedom, all that kind of stuff. We can go through it. Everyone's going through that. We go through that here in Florida. That's why I'm wearing the Make Florida the Gunshine State again T-shirt. We're all trying to do that. But I think when you start putting that kind of pressure on people where you're like, hey, if you don't do this, you're horrible. You're not a patriot. You're a bastard. I think that kind of like that discredits that people are out there fighting in their different states and fighting on a national level and doing things when that's not really true. Everyone's out there trying to...
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, well, what's up?
Do it like a Democrat.
Uh-huh.
Everybody gets along. Everybody plays together in public.
Mm-hmm.
And they get things done. Well, they try to.
Well,
what we do is we fight amongst us, like you're in a schoolyard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't like this. You didn't say that.
Yeah. You're not supporting me. You're not supporting
over petty little shit things.
Yeah. Look at me. Look at how awesome I am.
The second whether you support some YouTube guy doesn't make a fucking bit of difference in the whole world.
Yeah.
Nobody really, truly gives a shizzits. But when things start to go bad, Second Amendment wise, then it's like, well, you should have supported me. Well, that's not. Yeah. Just go out and do what you normally do, and forget about the dude in Washington, because the local stuff in Washington you can't do anything about. Washington State, that is. So.
Yeah, that's what my other thing was. Seattle runs that state. If they want something to happen, unfortunately I think it's going to happen.
Maybe. And I think that, listen, everyone should definitely fight. We should all try to do what we can do. But I don't think that you have to go about these fair tactics, putting pressure on people, I think that what that does, if you look at the video, I think I'm talking about this particular thing. It's almost like you're slapping someone at the same time you're picking their pocket. You know.
Well, that is a distraction, though. It would work.
Yeah. Well, that's what's happening. It does work.
Well,
But
what's going on in the world today? You know, if you look at the news, there's Russian collusion still going on.
It doesn't exist.
But there's a reason they keep that up, because it's a distraction from what's really going on.
It's a distraction from Google collusion. Google has plans to hack 2020. Is anyone going to investigate this? Are there any Republicans, Democrats, anyone out there looking into this?
So today, finally, the media is picking it up, but they're not picking it up how they should. It's kind of funny that if you go to, who was it? One of the Vox, it wasn't Vox itself, but one of the Vox companies owned by Vox under the umbrella, put out an article today that was something in the lines of, look what these right-wingers are doing. They're saying that Google is scheming against them when there's been no evidence of it, quote unquote, no evidence of it. And at the end of it, or in the middle of it, they're trying to explain, like, well, they don't. That's the funny thing, is they don't explain who James O'Keefe is. They don't say anything about his website. They just say, from a right-wing website, here's what's going on. It's like they're doing their best to not talk about it as much as possible.
Yeah. I think everyone's trying to ignore that. It's really weird. Like, you actually have executives from Google on camera, saying that they're going to affect the 2020 elections. No, kind of. This is one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah,
You know?
and they're willing to change the election if possible, and
and the government, the American government, the people of America, the politicians here in America gave them immunity.
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing, right?
You know, the problem here is I don't see how removing their immunity is going to do anything. Because you know, a lot of people right now are calling for the removal of their immunity, and I don't know how that's going to change something. It's just they need to be held. So the stipulation on that immunity is, you can be immune from lawsuits if you basically follow First Amendment rights, in the sense that you don't censor content. You can't be sued for content that's on there, but don't censor content. So removing that doesn't make sense, but holding them to it and telling them, like, no, you can't have it, your cake and eat it too. That is what needs to happen. Yeah.
Once they do this, I think there was a congressman that put forward something saying that once they start doing this kind of stuff, they should lose that exemption.
Did he commit suicide?
Huh?
Did he commit suicide?
No.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't talk about Hillary yet.
No, they didn't go after Hillary, so it's all right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, you know, I see some people talking about the Washington State 1639 thing. I'm not arguing anything that folks feel in their states or around the country is something that's important. We're not arguing that, and we're not saying we don't support it. What we're talking about here is the abuse of people who are on our side. So specifically, if you guys want to get into it here and the top of this, like I said, I made a video on Hank Strange. You guys could go see it. Lola just turned it on, where I'm talking about all this. But basically, in regards to me, Yankee Marshall said that, you know, if I should come on his show to defend myself against or explain why I'm defending Cola Noir, which is kind of weird. It's kind of like a weird
come here and explain yourself.
Yeah. So, and the weird thing about that is I've not, and I was telling you guys, and you see it in the video, I've not defended Cola Noir. I don't want to offend him. Now, I think that he's a big boy. He can defend himself and all that kind of stuff. We've seen him do it, right? We've seen him go on Bill Maher, on CNN, other places, you know, Joe Rogan.
An important thing to say here is I don't think you feel you need to defend him.
No.
Because, and I'm not sure that, like, we're willing to criticize just about anybody for anything. So, like, you can't knock us for that. I'm willing to criticize just about anybody, but you don't feel that he needs to be defended.
No, I don't feel. I don't think I've really defended him. What I've been refusing to do is offend him.
So offend him. Sorry.
Yeah. So
that's the other thing is we're willing to offend anybody. So
right, but I don't listen. I will if I think that you're deserving of it, and I think that there's people on our side. There's a few people on our side who are deserving of some offensive words. I think when you plan to go out there and blacklist people, when you deliberately try to sabotage other people in the gun community, bring them down and all that kind of stuff, then okay, maybe someone should talk about you. But so other than working for the NRA, what did Colin Noir do that we should offend him and we should start throwing racial slurs at him and stuff like that? What did he do to deserve that?
I'm in agreement.
Someone should let me know, why. Now, I know for Yankee Marshall, he just enjoys doing that, which is what he did the last time he was on my show, where before the show, he made plans with his fans. He said, hey, I'm going to go on Hank Strange's show and call Colin Noir Uncle Tom to Hank's face. Which I had no idea he was going to do that. Then he came on here, and that's exactly what he did. Lots of the people who were on that show with him were trying to get me to back off that because they didn't want to be part of a conversation like that. And then Lola was saying, hey, don't go off right now, because she knew I was about to go off. I think, like, we're out here fighting for the Second Amendment, and to go out there and start calling that's already happening to black people that are fighting for the Second Amendment. I don't know if you guys are aware of that or not. That happens to Colin Noir, happens to me, happens to Kevin Dixie. People are like, oh, you're down with the white people, you're an Uncle Tom. That stuff gets thrown around. Why are people on our side? Why do you want to do that if you're on this side and you're fighting for freedom and the Second Amendment? Why do you want to go throw those things in people's face? You can do whatever you want to do, but why do you want to do that? What did someone do to deserve that? When they're out there giving everything, risking everything for what we're fighting for here. So I don't think that's cool. Hold on, let me get some comments in here. SoCal Gunner gave us a couple of bucks. He says they need to break them up like Standard Oil. I guess he's talking about the like Google. Ronald, yeah. Ronald Hot Boy says, gave me blue balls Friday. Where was the cast?
Huh? Last Friday we had a podcast, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think we did.
No idea.
Yeah, I can't remember that far back. So
they didn't have anybody on Tuesday.
We weren't here yesterday. Yeah, we weren't here yesterday, which we did talk about. Yeah, we had Greg Pruitt and Gun Doctor TV, who I see out there. Shout out to Gun Doctor TV. Yeah, so Charles Holshuth is saying Bloomberg is going state by state, and that divides the Second Amendment community. Yes, this is the plan. This has happened in Florida. We've spent a lot of time. People don't know this, that like we're taking risks. Everyone who's on this thing tonight, the people who come on the show and talk about stuff from companies and all that kind of stuff, we're all taking risks. Walter's putting himself out there. He's a manufacturer. Babyface and I, we've gone through things that maybe you guys don't know about, but when we have opportunities to push back on politicians and all that kind of stuff, we do it. We believe in this. We live this stuff. And we care about what's happening, not just in Florida, but we care about what's happening in other states and the country as a whole, and we're fighting for it. But I just don't think we're going to get there if I'm in Florida and I want you to do something about what's happening in Florida, I go put this massive guilt trip on you and send out everyone to troll you because you don't do something, which in our part is not even really true. That's not really what happened, but whatever, and then the other thing, like I said, I just don't really think with everything going on here. If you remember, so when's the first time you remember hearing about Colin Noir, Patrick?
First time hearing about him like when I introduced his content?
Yeah.
God, years ago, long time ago. I Hank knows very well that I don't like his content, and not because I don't like him as a person. There's too much exposition in his content for me. I'm very, very plain.
Okay.
But no, I had watched a couple of his videos 8 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, long time ago, in the YouTube world, a long time ago.
Right. Yeah. So same thing with me, man. Before I started doing this, I heard of him, saw his videos.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Well before I was really getting into guns, I was watching his content, a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And that's what got me into more heavily into firearms. And then you specifically are the one that got me into YouTube stuff, because I never really considered doing this.
Right. So now the thing about all of this is that even with the whole NRA TV situation that's going on there, and we're going to get into talking about that, I've said, I think, more than a few times here that when I first started doing this and I went to SHOT Show, NRA had this big meeting with writers and, you know, and the NSSF. And it was all about YouTubers like me and all the other guys who are out there. At that time, I was a lot smaller than I am now. I'm still not a big YouTuber, right? I don't think I'm in the category of the big gun channels or anything like that. But, you know, so they had this meeting, and what they were talking about is how can we control these gun guys who are out there on social media. And the end result was NRA TV and everything we saw coming out of that. You know, they hired Colin Noir, a bunch of other people. That was their way of having control over the message, you know, which to me, I always thought that was the wrong way to go about it, because why do you want to control these guys? Why wouldn't you want to help us do what we're doing? Why can't we work together? We do what we do, you do what you do. Where those circles cross, we work together. What they wanted was ownership. And that's what we see dissolving today with the NRA and NRA TV.
That's the problem with the NRA in general, is they want control over everything, especially the message. They want to be able to control the message, when we maybe, I don't know, 50 years ago, before the internet, before tech, before all that, maybe it was easy to have a central location for people that could help spread a message. But nowadays, one, we don't, in a sense, we don't need them being a propaganda machine. We are our own propaganda machines. And I'm not saying propaganda isn't a bad thing. It's just, you know, what we do for the Second Amendment can sometimes be considered propaganda, as we are pro-Second Amendment people. We put out pro-Second Amendment propaganda.
Yeah.
But we don't need them to talk for us. I don't think.
I don't think so.
Not any longer. And the big problem is a lot of us don't agree with what they have to say any longer.
Yeah. Now, it's fine if they have their own thing. I'm not saying they can't make NRA TV and control the message.
Course.
They did.
They can control their message, but the problem is, I think a large problem right now is a lot of people on the outside of the gun world think that the NRA speaks for all of us. Like, I think a lot of people feel that when you hear what the NRA has to say, that's what the gun people do. And I think most gun people nowadays don't really like what the NRA has to say. I don't think they've been
Sometimes we agree with them on some things. We agree with them, you know.
But in other things, I don't think they've been strong enough. I don't think they've supported us like they should.
Yeah.
So I don't. They definitely don't speak for me, and I don't think they speak for a lot of people today.
Yeah. So here's the thing. In the past, I have supported them, especially when I started doing this, and I felt like, hey, these guys are doing, you know, they're doing some good stuff. I've got videos out there. You guys can see it. But, you know, when they do things like Patrick is saying that I don't like, we talk about it here. We don't even all agree on it, but I'll say, hey, these guys are doing this thing. I don't agree with this. This is, you know, this is BS. We have all those conversations. The thing that that I don't want to do unless I have to, I'm not saying I've never done it, but I will. I don't want to go after people personally unless I feel that person is destructive to the community overall. So there's some people in the community that actually blacklist other people. If those people don't do what they say, if they don't like deal with things, if they don't cooperate with them when they're blacklisting someone else or whatever it is, then now you get added to the fatwa, you know, and they go after you. That kind of stuff, I'm going to talk about it. And this is a similar situation where if you're out there just harassing, berating people, sending your fans after people, and doing all this kind of stuff, you could do it if you want to. I get it, you know, supposedly free country, do it. But there's going to be lots of people that are going to stop working with you because of that. Yeah.
And you got to expect people to call you on your shit. Just in general, I think you have to expect people to call you on your shit.
Yeah. So the thing that happened, like, though, so BDG Sneaks says, Hank, go on the show tomorrow. You can handle this. Maybe this is getting blown out too far. Here's the reason why I'm not going on the show. Because he came on my show Before that, he premeditated to his fans that he was going to call Colin Noir an Uncle Tom, which it's something that I think it's.
Did he actually call him that? He actually said that to him?
He said that. He said
it about him.
He said that to his fans that he was going to do it. I wasn't aware of that. He came on the show here, and on the show he said it several times. He said it several times. It's episode 134. Anyone could go look at it.
I need to go look that up because I don't understand the context in which that would even make sense.
Let me give you some context of episode 134. We were talking about the NRA. The title is NRA, Not Real Activists. You know who's on that show? Eric from Iraq Veteran. And Mac, Military Arms Channel. Now, Eric, right before this show, Yankee Marshall was out there calling him all kinds of crazy names. Okay, so he came on this
that particular show.
Yeah, before this show is when Yankee Marshall called him a cock and all kinds of craziness. Okay, so they still came. They came on this show, even though, like, just think, what would you do if some dude was out there getting all wild and crazy like that? Would you go on a show with him? But Eric came on the show. Matt came on the show. But what we didn't know is that Yankee Marshall planned that he was going to throw this Uncle Tom thing out there. He did it, and I told him, listen, this is not a good... He tried to rationalize to me why it was cool to say it and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, no, man, this is not cool. I don't appreciate it. I'm not going to get involved with doing that. And so I didn't blow up and go after him like I think I should have, because the people involved in the show behind the scenes were texting me saying, please, I don't want to have anything to do with this. This is a bad line that we're going down, that we're attacking Colin Noir on this personal level. They didn't want to do it. And then Lola came in and was like, you know what, let it go. So I explained to him that I thought this was a terrible thing. In the end, those guys had to go, they went and apologized to Colin Noir. I know what it is. I talked to him about it when I saw him. You know, I know how that makes him feel, because he already gets that from the outside, you know, from other black people, because he's supporting the Second Amendment. He already gets that. And think about how it feels that these people who you're out here rocking and rolling for every day, that your mother gets doxxed, you know, because you're supporting the Second Amendment, and all this craziness happens to you. And then the dudes in the community start calling you that too. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's why I don't want to go after him personally. I can't think of something that Colin Noir has done that's so egregious that we should just drag him through the mud and call him all kinds of names and treat him like crap and treat him like he never did good stuff for us. You know, like he didn't go on Bill Maher and fight with those guys about the Second Amendment.
Crazy people over there.
Yeah, or on CNN or Joe Rogan and all that kind of stuff. So to me, if that equates to defending him, I don't really think that's defending him. I think that's refusing to like offend him when I don't have a good reason to do that. Mm-hmm. You know, so I don't want. I'm not going to go on Yankee Marshall's show. I'm honestly not worried about him, but I'm not going to go on there and get set up again. On top of all of that, we're doing a show Thursday, and his thing I think is like an hour before ours. But listen,
it's after.
Is it after? Whatever.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Well, his thing I think starts 7 Central. We start 7 Eastern, and we go till 9. So I don't know.
Yeah, so it's an hour. You guys will.
Well, if he's in Washington State, he's in Pacific time.
Yeah, he's in Pacific time.
Well, okay,
that's 3 hours difference.
Okay, whatever it is, I'm not wasting my time with all that craziness. That's the thing I'm telling you guys. I could say what I want to say to everyone else out there, and he could just keep making videos and talking about me. It's all good.
I feel like you just, I don't know, maybe he's just trying to bait you into something. It's hard to know the reasoning behind it.
I could tell you the reasoning behind it. I'm telling you, here's his reasoning. I should give him the ghetto pass to throw racial epithets at Colin Noir. That's what he wants from me. If I don't do that, then I'm a traitor to the Second Amendment. I'm not a patriot, and that's bullshit. Anyone who believes that and buys into that, I feel sorry for you guys for thinking that way and having someone brainwash you into thinking like that. I am not going to give him the license to do that. That's what he wants from me. You know, now he's free to say whatever he wants, but then he's going to have to live with that, you know, when people hold up that mirror to him that this is what you're saying. You know?
So,
On this same topic, but slightly different, what was his problem with Twang and Bang? Because didn't you say he went after him too?
Yeah, so the situation with Twang and Bang looks like Twang and Bang came out about this whole 1639 thing, the GoFundMe. Originally, the GoFundMe said that all this money was going to the defendants. And Twang and Bang was saying, look, if you want to support what's going on here, support the Second Amendment Foundation, but I'm not telling you don't do this. I'm just saying that all of this money is going to these guys. And then I think what they did was they went back and changed the wording of that thing to say that the money is going to the Second Amendment Foundation, and then they're going to pay out, like pay fees and stuff like that for these guys, and it's for tax reasons, right? If those guys get directly $50,000, $100,000, whatever it is right now, they would have to pay taxes on it. So they didn't have the wording 30%? Right. Yeah. So
that makes sense.
They didn't have the wording right. Twang and Bang was talking about it and saying to people, listen, if you do what you want to do, but if you want to support what's going on, give money to the Second Amendment Foundation. Mm-hmm. So they changed that wording, but Yankee Marshall went after him anyway. I think it's in the end this is what I'm going to tell you about Yankee Marshall. He says this is not about money and things like that. This is about the fame and the glory for him, in my personal opinion. He wants to get the glory that he did all this stuff. He's the awesome one who did everything, saved everybody. And I think that's what a lot of this drama is about that you guys are seeing. So
it just doesn't. Okay, and it just doesn't make sense. I guess I don't.
It makes sense if you understand them. Listen, I know it might be difficult to.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't come from that area. I don't think that way. It's just crazy to me. But I'm sure, it makes sense that it doesn't make sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't think listen, if you have enough time to be out there worrying about those kinds of things instead of just going, listen, let's do what we need to do here.
Yeah.
That's what we all need to do. I mean, I don't care about the glory of it or anything like that.
I think there's a time and place to call someone on their shenanigans, and I think that Coleon Noir has done, for what I can tell, plenty fine for the Second Amendment community, especially being out there and everything. So it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. On top of that, this look, he's not the big dog in the NRA, right? We can see that in all this news coming out. Did you see him mentioned?
No, because
he's a cog in the NRA TV wheel.
The reason why we see him, because they've been using him as a front man.
Mm-hmm, for sure, he's a token black guy for them.
Yeah, they've been using
doesn't offend anybody. If you didn't realize that, I hope that's not offensive to you. But that's what he is.
Yeah,
and
he's done a good job. He's done a good job.
A token white woman. So.
Yeah, no, Dana Loesch's a token white woman.
She's also done a good job, right?
Yeah, I like her.
So they've done this, but they are not in charge of things. They're not. They can't make. The only person who's in charge of the NRA is Wayne LaPierre. That's the only person who's the boss, who's running everything over there. No one else.
He's the Führer.
Yeah.
That's where I have my major issues. LaPierre being the head honcho that clearly makes every call and everybody just bows down and toes the line for him. I'm not.
But
about
he's
that.
Putin. He's Putin.
Yeah,
everything
100%.
else is a figurehead position over there. That's why all those people are gone. That's why Chris Cox, he suspended Chris Cox. Chris Cox resigned
Chris
today.
Cox was the last person that had any sort of power over there, and he has consolidated power and gotten rid of him.
But do you think with what's happened, I understand where you're coming from, right? Because I think I would have agreed with you probably a couple of weeks ago. But what's happened in the last few weeks? Do you really think Chris Cox had any power?
In the last couple of weeks, I think he has been. I think what's his name has been. LaPierre has been consolidating power. I think that's what he's been doing. I think at one point, as the head lawyer, Cox had some power in the sense of deciding what lawsuits they're going after, where they're filing, things like that. But I think LaPierre and him probably had a falling out because Cox is on quote unquote our side. I'm going to say our side. In the sense that we don't think LaPierre should be there. LaPierre decides, no, I'm the big dog in charge. You can't be here anymore. I'm going to consolidate power and get rid of you.
Well, I think LaPierre thinks he somehow tried to get rid of him. I think Walter,
What?
I think LaPierre believes that Chris Cox was trying to get rid of him.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's why we're doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
We all want him gone. He just doesn't care because he's making too much money.
Well, now they got rid of Chris Cox, it's gonna be interesting, and the TV's gone. It's gonna be interesting to see what the money does.
Yep.
Because it's all about the money.
They're a nonprofit, so do they have to publish their finances? Is that how that works? So I thought nonprofits had to publish financial reports once a year or something like that.
I think that's why we're seeing the whole New York thing getting played out, right? Because they registered that in New York. Whatever. I mean, maybe a long time ago when they did all of this, they did it in New York. Maybe, in the last 20 years, they might have wanted to move that from New York to some other place. But listen, It's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Because we're seeing New York has jurisdiction over that, and they're demanding to see all this stuff, and that's why everything's coming out.
Well,
so,
see what happens.
Yeah, we're gonna see how this whole thing plays out. I just really feel like Wayne LaPierre has basically run the NRA for a long time, and we're just seeing the truth of it. Like, we believe the fantasy, the fallacy that you could be a member and then you could get on the board and you could vote for people and put them in there and you could change the message. You can't.
I've wondered. Has it ever been like that? Walter, you've been a lifetime member for a lot longer than I was.
Yeah, at least 120 years.
A lot of these board members have been there for a long time.
And they have no interest in going.
Ted Nugent's been on there a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about Ted Nugent. Well, I feel like Ted Nugent.
I don't know how he can be on the thing. He's got lots
that's
of
my
class
thing.
3. He's got lots of machine guns and silencers and all that stuff.
That's my thing. Is I feel like if again I go back to picking sides, I feel like he would be on the side of freedom and not the side of Wayne LaPierre's tyranny.
But then again, he has his own brand of ammo.
Mm-hmm.
Does he really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ted Nugent has a lot of stuff going on. And you know what? I actually see him every single NRA show. I see him, and here's the thing: he talks to people. So I've seen LaPierre and some of these other guys. They won't
come out in the public. They're behind.
But even at the show, they've got people around them. You can't approach.
They're not.
You can't look them in the eyes and all that kind of stuff. The one thing I like about Ted Nugent, he's a real dude in terms of, like, he'll talk to anyone. He doesn't care, and he'll joke around. Sometimes he gets in trouble for that. I can tell you guys that.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't hold back anything.
Yeah.
Respect, though. And I know that not every leadership position is able to have that freedom, but I respect that in a person.
Right.
By far.
Ask Adam Kraut if anybody can get on the NRA board.
No.
He had the support of the YouTube community, as far as I could tell, plus many others. And
he's been labeled a troublemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marion Hammer thinks that he's a no good troublemaker, whatever.
Well, we tried, and the reason why they, like you saw, LaPierre change the rules and all that is because we're trying so hard to get him on there, get Adam Kraut on there. So
I love when the article came out, or somebody was talking to me about it. They were like, "Don't forget, Marion Hammer. She gave you guys and pretty much everybody. She's a grandmother of concealed carry." And I was like, "Okay, she did something great 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever. It's time to move on. Don't hang your hat on that forever.
Yeah,
it's time for new blood."
I think, you know what, like we're talking about Ted Nugent, I don't know if he's really aware of everything that's going on there. I would assume now he is, because I know he pays attention to these things. The question is, do they still have the power to go in there and go, you guys are doing the wrong thing, you have to change this? And I don't think so, because they would have already been doing it, right?
Well, I don't know how many of the board members are on LaPierre's side. I know, I have a feeling a lot of them are. A lot of them are in these high-ranking, cushy positions where they're making tons of money and getting kickbacks, and they are the quote-unquote heroes of the gun world. They think they are.
Well, they're not.
So I think. Go ahead, Walter.
Some of them aren't even really in the gun world. I mean, besides being like hunters and sportsmen, whatever that is.
Yeah, fun.
I mean, retired football players and politicians and
there's a couple of actors or whatever.
I mean, okay, there's some manufacturing types there. Ronnie Barrett's a board member, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? The same way that I feel about politics, I feel about this organization. It needs to go back to being not a paid salary. There was a whole thing, and I'm going to go off on a tangent here a little bit, but there was a whole thing last week, I think, where 2 weeks ago, when they were trying to push through the 3% or 4% pay raise for Congress. and they had. Did you see that? And they had Ocasio-Cortez on there that was like,
I want a pay cut.
Yeah, I was like, well, Ocasio-Cortez was like, well, if they don't give it to us this way, people are just going to go out and get it other ways. It's like a crybaby, like, oh, if you don't give me my pay raise, I'll just go out and do something else to get money.
Oh, well, I got news for you.
What's she going to go out and do, strip?
No, she was talking about, No, she was talking,
play. Actually,
yeah.
I wouldn't like to see it strip, but
they were talking about like, oh, you go out and lobby and do lobbying things. They want more money. It's like, well, fuck you. They shouldn't be getting money anyways. This should be a job that the way I see it, it should be something like the military. You have to give up 4 years of your life and suffer through hardship to put out for your country. This is not something that you sit back and retire on. You shouldn't be making $200,000 a year, $400,000 a year, whatever.
Yeah, pay for play. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's disgusting. So
yeah,
I
this
think
should not be a career. This should not be a career for sure.
NRA is the same thing. You remove all that money out of it, and none of those people that are at the top right now are going to want to be there. If you tell them you're not making any more money, if you make $10,000 a year, $20,000 a year, sit the board and make decisions, they're going to be like, fuck that. I'm going to go back into private industry.
Yeah.
If somebody told me I could make $20,000 to sit a board and make good decisions for the the gun community, I would do it. If somebody told me I had to do it for free,
he's fired up. Babyface is fired up. I'm loving it.
Probably do it. It's just money. The money is corrupting, and we all know it, and it fires me up. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
But
the thing is this: a lot of the politicians, especially the career politicians, have a lot of money. Now there are some people who don't have any money. I'm going to assume the OKC doesn't really have a lot of money, but this is not a career move. Becoming a politician is not a career move, like you said. I think there maybe should be money for those people who don't have the money in order to pay their living expenses during the time that they're serving. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they need more than that. I mean, you're serving your country. That should be its own reward.
To me, it feels like serving your country.
Yeah.
When
you're done, if you don't want to do it, go off and go back into the private sector. Do whatever the hell you have to do.
They ought to have to go to the VA to get their health care to see how many of them last then.
Yes. Yes.
Seriously, I feel like
agree with that.
Let's see how she likes going to get her birth control at the VA.
Oh God.
Let's see what happens. Yeah.
Also, we probably, this is going to sound terrible, but we shouldn't be paying for protection for those people. Especially, I don't think we should. Well, they should have to, just like we have to suffer on our own to defend ourselves and protect ourselves, they should have to do it too. Whatever. I know that, we got to have people protecting us, but you know what? You can't protect yourself.
Well, don't do stupid shit that people want to kill you for.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no. Just learn how to defend yourself. People always going to want to do that.
Walter, if they weren't,
let's put them through defense courses.
I mean, people wouldn't want to whack these people off if they didn't go out. It's like the little dude from South Florida that said they've been trying to kill him 7 times.
Oh boy.
What's his name?
Yeah, don't worry. I know exactly what you're talking about. Rhymes with hog.
I call him Little Hitler. But he's got the luck of Hitler because Hitler was so lucky with the assassination thing.
Yeah. But if somebody wanted him gone, he'd be gone. That's such a joke.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like somebody just walk up and do it.
It's not.
And we don't want anyone to do that. We're not.
No, I'm not suggesting that by any means, but still,
it's just the idea of.
He's just trying to make himself sound so important.
Yeah.
I think. Listen, I really do believe that they should. Like Red Bear says, you shouldn't need protection if you're loved by the people. You should have to defend yourself. Here's what they do: you become a congressman. You go, hey, listen, you remember that thing you just swore to uphold the Constitution?
Yeah.
Second, in that thing, Second Amendment, you can defend yourself. Here you go. Let's go to the range. Learn how to pop a few through this. Learn how to defend yourself.
If you feel you have the need, then hire somebody to do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or get the people like Red Bear saying who are in your constituency.
I can't help but you live in a city where guns are illegal.
Yeah.
Well,
then you should do something about it. You should do so. Richard Hughes says, Walter, did you hear of Reagan?
Reagan was shot by a fucking nut job.
I'm not talking about the president. The president should be protected.
Yeah.
There's certain people I believe that should be protected.
And they let
that
nut jobs out of the jail now too, by the way. So
yeah.
Wait, the one that what? Who?
Hinckley.
Yeah.
He's really.
Oh yeah, he was paroled. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, is he in a halfway house right now? I think he's.
I don't know what kind of house he's in, but he should be in a pine box 6 foot under.
in the ground.
But here's the thing, like, I believe you should protect the president and his family, you know, certain things or whatever. Yeah, you know, maybe the speaker. That's probably as far as I'll go.
Any lineage to the presidency, yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's about as far as I'll go. Everybody else, you got to rock and roll for yourself. Rock and roll for yourself. Learn how to protect yourself, damn it. You know, it's good. It's good stuff. It's a good thing to do. It will grow you up. You know, it will grow you up. Let people, like you said, let people volunteer, right? You want to get some volunteers?
Yeah, if you get these awesome liberal, security guys to step right up and protect yourself. Yeah. Maybe you can get that soccer chick with the pink hair to come and help you. She's so badass. The one that plays on the U.S. soccer team.
Oh,
female.
Okay.
Yes. Her and Trump have been going back and forth.
Oh, really? I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, the soccer team chick?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the American soccer team that's like when they defeat other countries, they throw it in their face?
They slaughtered Thailand, yeah.
Yeah, and they just do celebration dances. Those guys? So they don't like Trump, but they
the one girl on the team that has the pink hair, I don't know her name.
Okay.
They've been going back and forth, so.
Okay.
She's a badass. Let her be a security guard.
How does she? Is she cute or?
She looks like she does not like men, Hank.
She's an angry lesbo.
Oh well.
She is not cute. That is one ugly woman right there.
Yeah.
Oh God.
She's an angry lesbian. Yeah.
Yeah. No love lost. No love found.
Yeah. What else?
Red Bear says Reagan passed a gun control bill and granted amnesty, guaranteeing Cali blue forever. He's a new neocon meme.
Okay.
So that's from Red Bear.
I know it's from. I know where it's coming from.
Yes, I know you know.
That's all right. Everybody's allowed their opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I was in school and when Reagan was the president, he cut the student loan stuff. I had to pay more money for school, but that's no big deal.
Yeah. So are you going to be going for Sanders? Because he's just going to wipe it all.
Oh, he's just going to forgive it all. Yeah.
He's going to.
No, I think forgive it nothing. You signed that damn line and decided to go to school. Guess what? You get the
the horse shit of all of that is. And this is coming from somebody that went to college. The most of the population of the U.S. hasn't gone to college, and those people are going to have to pay.
Why am I going to
pay? For the people that did go to college. How much bullshit is that?
Because you went and took liberal arts shit, and you can't get a job.
Oh, yeah, that's not happening.
You know how to underwater basket weave, but you can't freaking take a tire on a car.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
Yeah, well, you know what?
It makes no sense that a mechanic that never went to college and learned from the school of hard knocks is now going to have to pay for some snot-nosed kid to learn women's studies or some shit like that's insane to me.
Yeah. Do you know how crazy this whole college thing, the education system in America is about to fail horribly, man, really fall apart. But the college thing's so bad. I was looking at this documentary talking about how it's so expensive. The schools in California are so expensive. These kids going to school there can't afford to live anywhere or eat. So the thing is that all of those things need to be burnt. They need to fail. They need to burn down. They need to not exist anymore. The kids need to go. Yeah, I don't understand going there, and then I'm going to owe $500,000, or $1 million.
College system is just a racket. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That and college sports, it's just a racket.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. And at some point, it has to come to a head, right? People need to realize, and people need to stop going. Look at this thing of people paying to get their kids in a thing just so they can say their kids went to this school.
Well,
yeah. So it needs to come to a head. That's why I'm saying it needs to come to a head. It just all needs to just implode, and whatever happens to it because the schools themselves are creating it. And believe it or not, when all of this happens, it helps the schools. If Bernie Sanders became president and did all of this stuff, it would actually help the schools. That's what it would do. Right? Right or wrong?
I don't know how
you
you
don't think
figured
so?
helping the schools.
It's
then,
going to help
but-
that. Who's the money going to? Someone's going to have to get. It's not. They're not waving a magic wand and going, all of this debt is forgiven.
If
They're not. That's not what they're doing.
who's gonna? Okay.
Someone has to get paid off, right, Walter? I mean,
I'm lost somewhere in the whole thing about.
Well, what I'm saying.
Remember, when the government's paying for the school, you're not going to be going to the most expensive school.
Yeah.
Now Bernie's little nephew or little niece will go to the most expensive school.
Yeah.
Just like in Soviet Russia, but your scummy little son's not going to no fancy school. He's going to go to the trade school and learn a trade to work for the gov, or to be a nurse or be something that the government needs. They're not going to have underwater basket weaving and the government pay for it.
Yeah. Well, I think you listen. I'll be honest with you. We could spend as much time on Bernie's plan as we can on
Bernie. He's pissing up the pole.
Yeah, reparations, because not really going to happen.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, reparations is not happening. Now
All of a sudden-
you guys should celebrate, like Babyface. I guess. Well, if you've been in America for a while, you should celebrate reparations, because even white people are going to have to get some of that, right?
I'm going to get me a Cadillac dealership if they do reparations.
I'm assuming because
I'm gonna be a Cadillac repairman.
Well, here's the thing.
That might sound bad. That might sound stereotypical. But that and big ass gold jewelry.
It's gonna be an all-in-one dealer. Cadillacs, gold jewelry,
and spinners.
Yeah, you gotta have the spinner rims.
Call me Mr. Donk.
Do cigarettes and beer in the same facility? It's all in one.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to be stereotypical, but you know how fast people would spend if you give somebody that has nothing $20,000.
It'd be gone tomorrow.
They'd have it spent in a fucking day.
Yeah, But guess what would happen, man? Cadillacs will go what's the price of an Escalade right now?
I don't care.
What is it, like 85,000? That Escalade is going to 185,000.
Well, that's fine.
The next day.
Maybe you get the whole family's reparations.
That's the thing that I don't think people understand about economics is, like, when you change things like that, it's not just people don't $15 minimum wages. All that money doesn't just come out of nowhere. Prices will increase for everything.
I'd take every gun I own and paint it gold color, and I'll
sell them off.
Okay, first of all, you're going to have a lot of Dracos. I don't know if you...
God, invest in Dracos, everyone.
This is a Uzi. I'll put a big mag on it. It's a Uzi.
Is it a 40?
So, yeah.
So I could be that way, but that's what would happen.
So hold on a second.
You'd be right back in that same boat where everybody's going, where's my money? Well, your money, you spent it. You gave it to the crack dealer over there, or you bought the hoe down there in a whole bag of cocaine, and it's gone.
Yeah. So Crackbot gave us $5. He says it won't help the schools. It would help the administrators. No. So now let me tell you this, Walter. See, you and I, you were born here, but your family came from outside of America in the last 50 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so same thing for me. I mean, I was born in the Caribbean, but, I'm descendant of slaves in the Caribbean, but we're not getting any reparations in the Caribbean because nobody's that stupid to do that over there. So here's the thing. But here's the thing, though. So if you're going to give this reparations, by now, if you could even prove who were the slaves, you know how many descendants of those slaves are white people?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and when do you start discriminating against those white people?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, who's going to be getting this? It's like the whole Native American thing, right? Everybody's pretending there was just a big.
It don't take much, and you get the deal.
Yeah. So what percentage? You just go in there and you're like, look at my percentage, man. Like, how are they doing this? Are they going to do a genetic test? How are they going to figure out who's getting this money? That's what I'm asking.
It's a pipe dream.
Let me tell you something. If they're going on this test, like, listen, if you have African blood, we're giving you money according to how much African blood. I'm going there with my genetic test. Like, boom. Yeah. This is what I get. 50%.
I mean, you get bonus points for being this and for that.
Yeah. Yeah, Walter, you're gonna get like 2%. I don't know. Babyface has got some Cuban blood. Oh, you got zero? You got zero, Walter?
I got nothing.
You don't get
unless they start.
You're gonna have to fake it. You're gonna have to fake your DNA test.
Unless they start looking for cavemen, I get nothing.
But here's what you do, Walter. I have a plan for the people who still want to get some reparations when that goes through. First of all, let your hair go afro, and then just what is it? Identify as a black person,
Yeah.
Are you just gonna Sean King this? Is that what you're planning?
Yeah, just identify.
Gotta have that little like thin-lipped mustache like him.
that little Ricky Ricardo mustache.
Yeah.
Just identify. Because listen, if they're really that, let me tell you, there's gonna be so much. It's gonna be funny, man. There's gonna be dudes making YouTube videos about how they're scamming the system.
Oh yeah. And that I heard something the other day about slavery and stuff that was kind of interesting. I didn't realize that at that time when the people were being sold and coming out of Africa and taken different directions, the U.S. people that were shipped to the U.S. very small percentage versus Brazil, South America, boom, all these other places. We didn't get the majority of the slaves. They went other places. Now, is that you don't hear nothing about those other places in reparations, do you?
Well, that's what I just said, like Guyana, for example.
Like Brazil.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
You know?
No, you don't. You don't hear about it, and you won't. You know why, Walter? Because they don't.
They don't give a
They
fuck.
can't entertain this stupid thought. There is no money. No one in South America, no country in South America has the money.
You go to that Brazilian leader guy, and he's going to learn my new phrase I learned in England. Fuck off.
Yeah. No one has the money. Crackbot says, he gave us a couple of bucks. He says, Plessy versus Ferguson, one drop is all you need. There you go. Boom. There's gonna be so much, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'll be right there. I'll be trying to get my reparations.
This is a
Don't
diversion.
anyone drop dime on me when I'm trying to get my reparations. No one tell them like, listen, he wasn't even. What the hell are you talking about? He wasn't born here. I'm getting mine.
He's got a spray tan. Give him a good shower.
I'm gonna get mine.
I'm spray tan. You like? Well, anyways, that goes in a weird situation too. Yeah.
That's gonna be a fiasco, but guess what? Not gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen. No.
Also not gonna happen. Let's see. So Hobo Matt says, what does he say here?
Do you have to perform for the gay reparations?
Oh my god.
Dear.
Okay.
That's all right.
Okay.
Oh, Gibson Fender's asking, how's Neckbone doing?
He is doing great. Marley's home for the week off from school, so he is downstairs, probably sleeping on her lap while she's on the couch. That's what he does best. If anybody looked at my Instagram yesterday or day before, you'd see him and I were watching TV together. We're watching YouTube, doggy YouTube with little birds and squirrels flitting around, and he was loving it.
Yes, I think I saw that.
Red Bear says they have affirmative action in Brazil, and it's a total shit show. Courts that judge blackness and all. Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We all just identify.
Because affirmative action is a joke. Discrimination based on discrimination to help more discrimination, that doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't work.
Robert Ayala says, new sub, love the channel. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to Babyface. He's got some videos coming out. Yeah,
I have another one coming out. Should I say tonight? I haven't edited it yet, but I was thinking of putting it out tonight.
Yeah. What, AK? Another
another AK video.
Okay.
And I need to go film just an update to the lathe because maybe somebody out there in the internet world would be able to help source a part for me
before I have to make one for you.
I know.
What part is this? What part are you missing? What's going on?
So you have the lathe and you have the chuck. The chuck is what you holds your work, and they have to combine in some way. Typically, it's with a backplate that somehow attaches to your lathe. Mm-hmm. The backplate that was on the lathe was rusted in place, so I took the chuck off, and I ended up just cutting the plate off, just milling it off using the lathe itself. It turns out it's a thread pitch from 1935. Who would have guessed? And nothing really comes in that thread pitch any longer, so I either have to make one, or I've been scouring eBay every day to try to see if somebody might have one. But if anybody out there can source I will buy a whole chuck too, if you can source the chuck too. But I need a plate that's in 3.5 inches by 4 TPI. That's the size of the thread from back then.
So the question is, does anybody out there know somebody who deals in vintage lathe parts?
Yeah, that would help.
Because they are sitting around in places. You just have to.
That's the thing is, at least another person out there has to have this same thread pitch. I can't be the only one.
No.
It has.
What's the alternative if no one has this? Do you have to manufacture
I have to make
this?
one.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, so
I can't make it.
let me tell you what has to be made. First thing you have to make that spindle thread.
Yep.
To use as a gauge. So you got to replicate that thread on the spindle and get that right. And then you make the part. And then you can screw that part you made to replicate the thing in to get the thread right. Then screw it onto the other thing. And then
There's a lot of things getting screwed into a lot of things here.
And then
Sounds like an orgy.
Then you got to put that backplate on his machine, and you got to
screw it.
You got to cut it with a nice, really good tool and clean it all up.
Cut the face in, cut the sides in, and then drill it and tap it and do everything for the chuck
Put
itself.
the chuck on the backplate.
I've gotten to the point where if somebody's like, $400, I'll sell you a chuck and a plate, I'd be like, done. I'll write you a check tomorrow. Like, I don't care if it will save me the work of going to try to get because once I have one, I can learn to make another one. It's just having it where I can attach that chuck to the lathe to make another one.
Yeah, you have to have a chuck on the lathe to cut the thread.
To cut another chuck.
And then if you've never cut internal thread, and you're a newbie, I don't recommend it.
It's not a little half by 28. DCG44 says, how about rethreading? I asked that, and I don't know if that's a thing.
What are you going to rethread it to?
Something more common, like
so. You're going to take the whole lathe apart and put that spindle in another lathe and cut new thread on it?
Yeah, exactly. So I would have to send that off to a machine shop to do it, I guess.
Yeah. Boss Hog is saying give him those numbers again. I'm not sure.
I'll put him in chat.
Yeah. There's one out there. Just got to hook up with the person.
Yeah,
who has it.
and someone else said check Craigslist probably.
Craigslist. So our local Craigslist, no, won't have it. We're too small of a city. I've looked in Tampa, and I haven't looked in Orlando. But eBay. I mean, eBay's to me is like the biggest garage sale out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to look daily on eBay just to see what's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And nothing at this point, or
nothing yet.
No.
I've been looking for 4 or 5 days now, but nothing yet. The funny thing was, I even got to the point where, because my search on eBay was backplate and chuck to see if there was a threaded chuck or a backplate. I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, I'll find a faceplate. If you can get me a faceplate that fits it, I'll learn to cut it on a faceplate. I don't even.
If you get a blank faceplate that's big enough that that's half the battle.
Yeah.
Because then you just have to thread it. So.
Well, I'm saying doing a flat base plate where you put the bolts through and bolt everything like back in the 80s like they did. Right. I would buy a faceplate if I could find one threaded 4 by 3.5 or 3.5 by 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just been fun. Trying to find one of those. So we'll see.
I feel like this is like Lathe-gate.
He may be able to help me. So we'll see if BWE wouldn't mind helping me, but
okay.
We'll just it's just a matter of it's not going to be done tomorrow, and I have to be patient. So
and sometimes it's just a matter of how you ask what you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Because one man's backplate is another man's lathe back or some other goofy name, and so you got to just say things the right way and.
That sounded very sexual, Walter. One man's backplate is another man's. What now?
You know how when you do a search on Google, if you don't say the right word, sometimes you won't even. It'd be a whole nother genre, until you hit that right word or the right order of the words, and it's like, boom.
Yeah, it's how you search. It's how you do the search.
Yeah. Right.
Don't put in Hillary Clinton. You're not going to find anything. That's guaranteed right there. I saw someone earlier was asking you about your Blue Line Bears hat.
Yep. I replied, but if you want to say what that is, go for it.
Yeah. Who want to say what is?
You want to tell what Blue Line Bears is?
Yeah. Basically, Blue Line Bears is a young lady that's here in Florida, actually. That her dad is a police officer, and he's fine, but she was worried about police officers losing their lives, their families, and stuff like that. So she started making bears out of their uniforms to help the families cope and all that kind of stuff with the loss of someone who's serving in a police department. And that's what the whole Blue Line Bears thing is. Here, I'll show you, Patrick. If you go down a little bit here on camera, we can see the hat. So if you guys go check out Blue Line Bears, they're on everything. They have a website. They're on all social media. You can see that. You can help out with that. We've done some videos interviewing her. Very, very nice young lady. So
yeah, that was good. And it wasn't expensive. And the money goes to a good cause.
Yeah.
So
and that's something that the guys from Fort Scott, they help out with that. So shout out to the Fort Scott guys.
Do they really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do. They've been helping them out. That's how I met the family that does the Blue Line Bears thing. So shout out to the Fort Scott guys on that one. They do a lot of good stuff like that. We probably don't give them their credit. And then speaking of that, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I was sharing a video of them. They shot a bear, an actual bear, a black bear.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Last night on their Instagram or something?
Yeah,
with
380.
380 ACP, I know.
Yeah, a takedown. I think it was through like one of those takedown rifles, I guess. I was looking, I think it said TNW, they told me, TNW. Canada compliant TNW takedown. I didn't find one that was 380, but maybe they found one that was 9mm or something. Put a 380 in it. I don't know. But yeah, they took that bear down one shot. It was interesting.
That's impressive for a little 380.
Yeah, and if you look at the they did kind of like a bear autopsy on it. It was pretty interesting to see what.
Did they have a video of this on their channel or something?
Yes, it's on their channel. If you look on my Facebook page, you'll see I put up a link to it there, but it's on their channel. You guys could find it. I think I threw it up on Twitter and stuff like that as well. So their 380 does some damage, man. I think the technology for ammo has come a long way. So
tumble on impact, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Do we want?
I got another. Sorry.
No, go ahead. No.
I got another project I'm started today. I have stolen a compressor from my grandfather. It was the old one we used to use when I worked with him like 10 years ago, back during college. And it's been sitting in a garage forever because the valve leaks on it. And he was like, "Well, I don't want it anymore." So I took it. And that's my new project, is getting this. It's just a little like 4-gallon compressor, but getting it up and running. I ordered some parts today, so I guess I should do a video on replacing that. I don't know if anybody actually cares about that sort of stuff.
People do videos on fixing everything.
Yeah, so maybe somebody would be interested in watching that.
I see this video, guy taking a rusty old bench grinder and making it all pretty again.
Yeah, so I guess there's no harm in showing how to put the parts back in this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, finally, oh my God, having a compressor. I've not had one in my shop, in my garage.
So that's what I was going to say. I thought you had a compressor.
No, it's the most handy thing. Even with it leaking, it leaks, so it just cranks on every 5 minutes and is annoying. But even with it leaking, using it to blow the workbench off, blow the dust off of myself.
You feel professional now.
Tires. Oh my God, it's amazing.
No more bats for Babyface P. He's just going to air compressor himself.
Blow off the air compressor and go to bed.
Wait till you get the long, you got the nozzle with the short little spout on it. Get you one with a 2-foot nozzle on it.
You have a tiny one right now.
You can blow leaves out of your driveway. You can do all kinds of stuff with it.
Crackbot gave us a couple of bucks. He says, "Baby P, just use your lathe to make a better lathe."
Actually, interesting story there. A guy that we used to work for when I was in college was a Cuban guy. Came from Cuba. Well, it was his father, but his father was an immigrant from Cuba, and he was a machinist in Cuba. Mm-hmm. And when he came to the States, he built his own machine shop from a lathe and a mill. So I think he bought himself a small lathe and a small mill, and from that, he built everything. It was unbelievable, the tooling he had in that shop, like air compressors and hydraulic machines, all of it built by hand, welded, machined. Unbelievable.
And that's from that environment where you have to do that.
That's exactly what it was. And he even told us, it was like, he didn't speak really great English, but the son that we worked for was telling us about it, that they would take car parts that we would throw away, engines that blocks were cracked, and weld up the crack and get it running again, machine it perfect, running again. Unbelievable.
This could be related to that. I remember when I was in Belize years ago on honeymoon, you see a car like in the junkyard scrap garbage area, and there wasn't a damn bolt left on that car body.
I think go find what you could use, I guess.
They stripped every nut, every bolt, everything off that car.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's how it goes down. Did you see that there was like some horrible murders in Belize?
Oh yeah. A guy got shot.
Yeah, a doctor.
Yeah, he was fly fishing with a guide. They shot him and the guide.
Yeah.
Oh no, Beth Chapman died. Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
She had cancer, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had throat cancer. Of course, she was a smoker.
Smoker.
Yeah.
And then supposedly that was cured. Then pop-ups lung cancer.
Yep. Spreads and.
Wow.
And I guess she did chemo for a while or something, but then she became the she didn't want to do it anymore. So he's looking for non-traditional treatments.
Okay.
And then I guess she wasn't a very cooperative patient either. So
That sucks.
So now this might be too soon, but there's a big pair of boobies up in heaven right now. another big set has just landed.
God bless you.
See, I'm just getting to the salient points of the story.
Right.
Like I said, probably too soon. Yeah.
Give it at least 2 more hours, okay?
Pants says you're not going to find that 4-gallon air compressor is good for much other than a nail gun. Yeah, it's not great, but it's going to work for now. Eventually, I like to get something big. But I only have so much garage that I'm allowed to use. Right. And I'm using more of that at the moment.
Yeah. Or if someone has a really old school one that doesn't work, I mean, come on.
Let me know. We'll
get
fix
the pickup truck over there and pick them.
That's right.
We will build this.
I like to say that Hank wants to work on these, but no, he just wants to watch us work on these and do a video.
No, I don't want to work. Yeah, of course, I don't want to work on it.
Yeah, that's right.
No, that's not what I do. Listen, so like when my son with this car situation, you know what I did? With the door. Now I've taken doors apart and fixed windows and all that kind of stuff. I've done it. Like I had an Isuzu V-Cross, one of the most awesome vehicles on the face of the planet. I had one for a little while until Lola made me sell it. But so I've done it before, but it was really, really hot. So you know what I did? My friend owns a recycling center, Gilchrist County Recycling.
Yeah.
And I drove that car over there, and they popped the door up. They were looking at the other Passats that they had to see if they can get a door, but all the doors had the same problem because there's this plastic piece that's on the regulator that holds up the windows, and they break. They get brittle over time, so they couldn't find one that was they were all messed up. They were all broken or something like that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so we wound up having to order a part, and then I just left the car over there. When that part comes in, they'll swap it out, and
yeah.
Easy peasy.
While I was over in across the pond, the motor regulator thing broke in Spencer's car on the driver's side, I think. So they ordered one, and we'll help them put it in. So.
Yeah, I mean those are usually not okay. So as you know, Walter, because you've probably done a few as well. That's usually not a difficult thing. With the Volkswagens, that regulator is all one part. It's like a door card. So it's like a piece of metal, and it has the motors and all
it's got all that stuff. Wires and all.
Yeah, it's all connected to one thing, and that's if you get the replacement part, it's all that. I think on the Impalas is completely different, right?
No, it's a framework with a motor and wires, and you kind of you got to lift the window out, take it loose from there, lift the window up, hold the window up, and then you take that whole assembly out, and then you put the new one in and reattach. And, yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah. So, I've done that kind of stuff, but I think I'm getting too old for that. I was like, okay, son, I'm going to show you how you do this. Let's drive down to the recycling center.
Let's go find someone else.
Yes.
Delegation.
That's always, and sometimes that's better than going to the mechanics, I can tell you that.
Oh, God.
And you know what's funny, Walter? So my friend Dan runs that place. So if people ever look at if they ever look at the channel and they see the ambulance body, that's like the number one question. Everyone asks about when we shoot on the Hacienda, the ambulance body, or if they see those big chunks of metal we have out there.
Yeah.
It all came from Dan. So there was a dude that I drove in like an older Mercedes when we got in there, and then I think he was looking around for parts for like a pickup, like a S10 or something.
Yeah.
While he was there, he found a Mercedes toolkit. It's like in a black.
Ooh.
It's in the black circular thing, and it has a big.
Yeah.
$20.
That's
I was like, cool. What the heck?
You know what's even cooler to find?
Mm-hmm.
They make a spare tire fuel can.
Ah.
So it's this round gas can that fits in the spare tire when it's in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
And they get, you look on eBay, see how much they get for
Yeah.
these freaking things. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
holy fuck.
Yeah, that's what
Jesus.
Lola was like. I know what that thing costs on eBay. That thing don't cost $20. It costs way more than that.
There's Porsche ones, there's Mercedes ones.
Yeah.
I think there's Audi
Yeah.
fuel can things. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
the
If
cool thing
someone
about-
finds an Audi one, you know.
Oh,
Pick
I
a
got something
brother
to send
up.
you, Hank, for you to work on.
Uh-huh.
I'll send it to you later. You can look at it. But the cool thing about the scrapyard is they don't give a shit what comes in. They don't know what's in there that's worth money for the most part. They're just
sometimes.
they got scrap cars, and if you need a part out of it, you might be able to find a part out of it.
Yeah, and they work. So Dan is working on stuff like he has a I don't have pictures of it, but he has one of those like half-ton those military. He's into military vehicles, and he's gonna one of those big military. It looks like a big tow truck, but it's like I guess a half-ton, Walter, or something like that. But it's like a tow. Anyway, he says he's gonna bob it and do all kinds of stuff to it and change it out and make the back look like a flatbed. So it's gonna be a bobbed military vehicle flatbed truck.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Probably deuce and half. Like
yeah, I
you
think
call
so.
it.
I think
M35 maybe, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I want one of those so bad. I wish
Have you ever seen those bobbed, Walter?
Yeah, I have. Yep.
Oh,
yep,
you have?
yep,
Okay,
yep.
cool. Yeah.
Yep.
So Dan's gonna, he gets up to all that cool stuff. That's where my RV is, but Lola has deemed my RV
a failed experiment.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to talk about it, basically.
Jesus.
That is over. And actually, I was telling Dan about, because Trey had a really cool Challenger body. I was telling him about that. He's like, yeah, man, let's do it.
Oh, no.
Of course,
also-
you finance it, he'll do anything for you.
Yeah, so I'm also
I'm
not
glad
allowed to do that.
I'm glad I'm out of that one too.
Yeah.
God.
I'm telling you, post-apocalyptic vehicles, nobody's down with me.
Yeah.
An old Challenger?
Yeah.
I hear you,
No.
but
Well,
I ain't listening.
I'll tell you what, though. Whenever we want to do a video over there, we can. That would be a cool place to do videos. We should do a couple videos there.
James Miller gave you $5. He's asking, Hank, do you, Walter, or Babyface reload ammo? What are your
Yes.
thoughts on whether it's worth getting into today's ammo price with today's ammo prices?
Yeah, so
Yes,
that's a babyface question.
Yep, I reload my, I used to reload most of my own ammo, pretty much all of my own ammo, and then Hank got sponsored, and I don't shoot a whole lot anymore. I've been bad about shooting, and two, if I shoot, I just steal some of Hank's and don't tell him. But typically, yeah, I reload my own ammo. I like it because you can control what you shoot. If you're shooting anything special, like me, I pretty much only shoot my suppressors. You can buy 115 grain 9mm all day long for fairly cheap. You start looking for 1,000 rounds of 147, and the price starts going up. So for that reason, it's still worth it. I pretty much exclusively shoot 147s for my guns, just because I like them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely worth it if you. It's good for stockpiling, and it's a fun hobby. That's another thing. One thing that a lot of people will tell you that is the total truth on that is you will not save money reloading ammo. It's not going to happen. You're going to spend the same amount of money. You're just going to get twice as much or 3 times as much ammo out of it. So as long as you realize I'm saving anything, you're spending the same amount, you're just getting more ammo, you're going to shoot more, then you'll be fine. But no, it's totally worth it. I love it. The big thing, God, I should do a whole video on this because I love my reloading stuff. Do you reload rifle ammo? Yeah, I reload. I am set up to reload 223, 5.56, 9mm, 380, 45, 30-06, which I do for my M1 Garand, 308. I may have the stuff for 6.5 Creedmoor. I just haven't done it. 357 and 38 Special. So those are all the calibers that I on the regular reload. And yeah, I can save 9mm. You're not going to save a ton of money, but when you're talking like 357 or 45, a box of 45, it's like 40 cents a round nowadays.
Or things like M1 carbine.
M1 carbine is expensive. M1 Garand specific ammo is really expensive.
Yeah, they get the 30-06 for a Garand is loaded for a Garand.
Has to be, yeah, and it's cheap to make in because it's just your regular 147 bullets and 48.95 ammo powder, which is common. It's super common. It's just because it's not sold massively, I guess it's more expensive. But no, totally 100%. I love it.
Yeah, somebody wants to know what do you use a Dylan? What
yeah, Dylan 650, XL 650, and
Yeah.
I would look back. I love my. I have a single stage that I also use because I like 30-06, 308s, and 357 Magnum. I don't reload mass quantities of that, so I typically will do that 50 to 100 rounds at a time on the single stage because it's all I need. But when we're talking 9mm, I'll reload 1,000 rounds, 2,000 rounds over a span of like a week or two, and that gets me by for a while. And God, on the Dillon, you can crank it out so fast. I love it.
Yeah. Rick C says, I'm reloading, listening to this live chat. Laugh out
You go.
loud.
Oh,
You're welcome.
Pay attention. Don't listen to us.
Yeah.
Don't want to get that squib round. You know?
Yeah,
I guess I need to do some videos on that. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I haven't reloaded in a while, but yeah, I need to do some videos on
There's some
my
cool
setup.
machines out there now, the technology. Like when we were at NRA, man. There's some badass technology for reloading nowadays.
Oh, somebody's got an air compressor.
Uh-oh.
Hmm?
Who has an
Well,
air
I don't know
compressor?
where Johnny Kamikaze is, but
I have a 50-gallon, what is it? 50-gallon
I would love
Husky.
to have it. 50-gallon Husky compressor with
yours
a
if you
motor.
want it. Okay, Johnny.
Yeah.
Love it. You tell me how to get it.
Yeah,
Johnny
hit babyface
Kamikaze,
up.
long as he's not in Minnesota or something.
He's in
you know what I'm saying?
Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that case, just ship it to him. If
You gotta put it on-
if you're somewhere here in Florida nearby, that would be cool. By the way, Babyface, when I'm looking for anything, who do I call? Babyface. I'm like, okay, I don't know where this is. Do you have it? That's what I do.
Part like tools? Yeah. If Hank's looking for tools, I may have it.
I
That's not
literally text him all the time. I'm sure he's like, why does he text me when everything is missing?
What was it that you looked for the other day? Lola was like
Something, and I was like, Babyface, do you have this?
Sledgehammer. I have my own.
No, I couldn't remember where I put this.
Oh, what was it? What's that?
That's not good.
Yeah.
And
So let's go ahead, show off your guns. I know you didn't get enough of a chance the other day.
Oh, for those who
Yeah.
weren't here earlier.
Yeah.
This was the original from the pair of Smith & Wesson 1506s. The other one was the one that was all loose and wonky.
Right.
This is a replacement for it, and it is actually in better condition, aside from the grip, than the other good one. So
Yeah. Let's get a little close up. Let's see how close can you get here. Let's see that one. I mean, from the quality that we're getting on the live. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Was this the one that the grips were messed up, maybe?
Yeah, this one's got the whole grips that are wore out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
But,
replaceable.
The metal has less scratches and scuffs on it. than
Yeah,
the
so let's
original.
see this other one here.
This is the one that came from the original.
Yeah, you can
two.
tell this one has more of a patina.
Yeah, that's what you call it, patina. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got the original
So
grips.
cool. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, the other thing I could do videos on, I cast my own bullets as well. Not on the regular, but I've done it and it's fun.
Yeah.
So I can
Now,
talk about that.
I have to say that I do have reloading stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have a Dillon.
You have a
What do you
single
have?
stage. don't
What do
you?
you have?
Yeah,
A
I have-
chucker? Spare chucker?
Spear chucker?
No,
What are you
I'm
trying to
just
say? A rock chucker?
Rock chucker. I know. I'm just
A
messing
spear
with you.
chucker. Yeah, I'm a spear chucker. There we go.
Yeah.
we're not gonna
Rock
go
chucker
there.
is the high end one, right? Rock
Yeah,
chucker
that's
is the high
that's
end
the
one.
big heavy duty single one.
Yeah.
Lots of I got so much 223 brass. I probably have upwards of 10,000 rounds of 223 brass. So someday those, and they're clean too, deprimed and sized and everything. So
Yeah.
Oh God, I have so much. Back when before Hank was sponsored for ammo, I was doing a lot of my own ammo reloading to save money. And God, that one day or 2 days that we were out there cleaning up the range and getting brass, I have buckets. Like if anybody ever needs 223 brass, I will send some out. Cause
yeah, I know where some of that came from.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
Babyface doesn't even want to hear about it anymore.
I have so much brass. I have one of those big like plastic totes, completely full to the top with cleaned, already finished, cleaned 223 brass that
Yeah.
I just haven't done any 223.
So just in
in a
case
while.
you don't know, you could sell that to the recycling center.
I could. Well, it's worth more to reloaders than it is to recyclers.
Yeah, that's true.
Selling it as like clean 223 is worth more than
Yeah.
The
than scrap.
recycling guys are scared of brass.
Hey,
A lot of
really?
times, because it might have live primers in it.
Yeah, I definitely may have a live round thrown in there. So I don't know.
But it's worth more for a guy reloading than brass.
Yeah, reloaders is worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see there's a couple of questions here coming in from Robert Ayala. Have you all finished 80% lower? And then I think he was asking what we think about Canics. I don't know if you want to get to those before we get to other stuff. I did want to get to this whole Google thing, just to update people with this whole Google, going after, making sure that they control who becomes president in 2020. Because Google knows better than us, guys. I mean, they've got to save us from ourselves, Google. It's their responsibility as cajillionaires.
The whole like West Coast elitist ideology is just disgusting to me.
Yeah. Well, look at L.A. Look at San Francisco.
Yeah. Where homeless people are shitting all over the streets.
Basically turning it into third world shithole.
Yeah.
They know better. Yeah.
That's pretty. I like the color on that.
Yeah. Didn't we shoot this, Walter? I thought we shot this.
Yeah, I've had it out there. This is the TP9 SF Elite that I acquired. Nothing wrong with the Canic. I also have a Canic, and you guys have never seen it. I've got an all-metal Canic. I forget the model number, but before these were popular, they did the all-steel guns. And it's kind of like a SIG, like a compact SIG. I'll have to bring it out next time.
Yeah. And someone's, who is it? James Miller says he loves doing 80% lowers.
I'm a little spoiled. I'm probably not your typical 80% guy because I have the CNC machine. I have a Ghost Gunner. So I'm a little spoiled because it's literally like plug it all in and put the thing in there and it cuts the innards for you. So I'm not a good representation of 80% machining because most of the guys are doing drill press and then you're kind of hogging it out, which is cool. Like there's a whole skill to that I don't have because of the CNC. And Walter is even more.
I've got 180% lowers.
They need to be turned into something.
But right now the lowers are so cheap, it's not worth doing.
Jesus.
So
$40 for a completed lower, yeah.
So I paid 40 for those 80%ers. So
exactly.
Yeah. So now, speaking of that, have you guys seen that Faxon came out with their FX19, the pistols? That's out now. Have you seen it? It's on Firearm Blog. If you check it out, the Faxon FX19. Basically, it's like it's kind of like this. The reason why I'm saying it connects at 80% lowers. It's kind of like a Glock, but it has a different approach angle or grip angle, like a 1911. But basically, it's an upgraded Glock. Or
it
Glock
looks
system that you're dealing with here.
It looks very similar to a Polymer 80. Really similar.
Yeah,
like
what do you think the frames are coming?
Yeah, but upgraded with parts from these guys, and I think it starts at like 13. Goes from 13 to 1500.
I bet you
guns.
Polymer 80s molding them for them with Faxon in the grip.
Oh yeah.
They look good. They look good.
No, it's sharp. How much are they?
Somewhere between 13 and 15.
Ooh, look
15
at that.
These Gucci Glocks are pricey.
Man, this is new stuff on the Firearms Blog since I looked a little while ago.
They
got a side folding wooden stock towards the top.
I see that.
But even better than that, you scroll down a little further. I think it's on the front page. You see where the Russians are selling deactivated AK-12s?
No, what?
And over in Russia, scroll down the Firearms Blog. It
sells deactivated AK-12 rifles to civilians?
And the equivalent of $315 over there.
Oh my!
You see all those parts? Holy shit! Who cares about the gun?
Don't make me look at this. This is painful.
Strip that. I guarantee these are going to show up on people are going to buy those over in Russia. Strip the parts off it and sell those parts for $1,000 or more, probably.
I hate to say it, but I'd buy one.
You said it's down from what?
They're selling them for $300 or something like that.
Yeah, it's Kalashnikov Concern sells deactivated AK-12 rifles to civilians. It was on the front page of the Firearms Blog. You just got to scroll down. It's above the story about Vincent Van Gogh's suicide pistol.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Vincent Van Gogh's suicide pistol.
Supposedly
that pistol looked like it was sitting on the bottom of the ocean, just rusting out for the last.
It was dug up in a field, I guess.
Yeah. So
revolver allegedly used by Vincent Van Gogh to shoot himself sells for $100 wow.
Supposedly shoot himself.
Yeah, you don't even know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's going to be all kind of hella haunted right there.
The AK-12 parts, man. I'd be like, if I was over there and I was a Russian, I'd be buying the things.
They only have 2,000 of them to sell.
Bust those suckers down into parts, so it's completely shippable.
I'm sure some of them will find their way over here somehow or another, and they're going to be very expensive when they do. But still cool.
Yeah, they'll end up.
If I was able to, I'd buy one.
Yeah, let me throw up the Vincent Van Gogh thing for anyone who wants to see. It just looks like it's been sitting on the bottom of the ocean rusting. Basically, 145,000. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all right, man. If you can get it, somebody wants.
I would get a Gatling gun.
I would just
minigun or something.
Psycho 316 asks if if any of us are getting yeet cannons.
So I know that's a thing that I know that High Point did put out an update today. I don't have the news pulled up, but basically, so the second round they announced whatever, the C9 whatever, but they said that the yeet cannon, so the yeet cannon is still kicking everyone's ass. So they're pretty sure at this point they're going to call it the YC9. And
the YC9 is at 94% of the votes.
Well, of course it is, because everybody's going to go pick that.
Yes.
213,000 votes. So I'm pretty sure that's going to win.
And what they're going to do, they're going to have a special edition that's not only going to say YC9, but it's going to have yeet cannon written out on it.
I'll buy one of those.
So,
because it won't. The other thing is it
over.
probably won't break the bank. You probably buy it for a good price and it won't break the bank. I'd buy one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so if a regular one's like 150 new, maybe that'll be like $200.
It'll be $350.
Yeah. You think so? $350?
Heck yeah.
I don't think High Point has ever sold a gun for $350.
It doesn't matter. It's a yeet cannon.
It's a yeet cannon. Yeah, they're gonna market it right. They're gonna sell it.
Heck yeah, man! You get these,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they'll get people to, gun guys will do it. So a couple of other things going on out there. California now requires background checks for all gun ammo purchases.
Yeah, I saw that. Was like coming down. But they don't require you to buy reloading supplies?
So
it's time to start reloading?
Yeah, here's a weird thing. At the end of the day, it's a perverse fact. Guns don't kill people unless a gun is used as a blunt instrument. A gun is not particularly dangerous, Governor Gavin Newsom said Monday. So that's a quote in here. Guns don't kill people.
It's the bullets, right?
Yeah, it's the bullets. This is so crazy. California vote people.
And bullets by themselves don't kill people either.
No.
Yeah, no, they don't. They can't do anything. They don't sit around plotting on you.
They gotta make sweet love.
Yeah. Now, along that line, I know Madonna has some stupid-ass video out there that I tried to watch, couldn't watch it.
I couldn't either.
Not really going to get into it.
I skipped into it and then was like, it's just, I couldn't watch it. It was too stupid.
So I'm not going to get into that. Something I did think that was interesting is this whole thing about the Wayfair workers walking out. Did you see this? The Wayfair walkout is a different kind of tech worker protest. There's a bunch of articles on this. Last Friday afternoon, more than 500 employees sent a letter to executives at the online home goods retailer Wayfair. Their concern was a $200,000 order of bedroom furniture that was shipped to a border camp in Carrizo Springs, Texas, managed by BCFS, a government contractor, where thousands of migrant children seeking asylum would be detained. We believe that the current actions of the United States and their contractors at the southern border do not represent an ethical business partnership Wayfair should choose to be part of. The message read. The employees addressed a letter to co-founders Niraj Shan and Steve Conine, as well as Wayfair's board of directors, and asked the company to stop selling contractors that outfit migrant detention centers, right?
So they're saying we want those poor kids to sleep on the hard, cold concrete.
Yes, that's what they're saying.
They can't have beds. They need to sleep on the hard floor.
Yes, so that's what they're saying. Now, Wayfair employees got a response on Monday. No way.
Did they really? Good.
Yeah. As a retailer, it's standard practice to fulfill orders for all customers, and we believe it is our business to sell to any customer who is acting within the laws of the countries within which we operate. Executives did an leaked memo, so now those people want to walk out, or I think they have walked out. What do you guys think about this?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Not a new job.
Yep.
Yeah. Fired. You're fired. Well, actually, they quit. They quit, basically.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
And it's so silly that they don't want the obviously there's this thing going on with these detention centers, and the government's trying to get more money, okay, to make it better conditions there. All right. So you don't want to sell your furniture to them to make better conditions, is what you're saying? You don't want to keep your job by selling them furniture that's going to make them more comfortable, basically.
Yeah, we can't allow them to be more comfortable. They need to be cold and hungry.
Yeah.
I slept on a concrete floor one time.
Yeah. Oh, I've
in
done
a in a hurricane, quote unquote hurricane shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt awful.
And it with a bunch of Boy Scouts with wet, stinky feet and stinky.
Oh my goodness.
The aroma of funk
was BO.
Yeah, it was just like it's not pleasant. Not pleasant at all. So
wow, was that just Will? Was that just Will, or was that the
that's after Will. It was just Spencer and the troop.
Oh, okay. All right.
Will was probably sleeping in his bed at UCF when that was
just chilling like luxury.
Yeah. Whatever it was. Yeah, he didn't suffer too much. But we went on a camping trip to Sand Hill, and the tropical storm was coming, and they evacuated to this middle school, and it was actually Challenger Middle School, so I called it Camp Challenger after that.
Mm-hmm.
And basically they lock you in and you can't get out.
Yeah. Psycho 316 says, I slept on the sidewalk for a month.
Well,
I can't say I've ever done that before.
No, me
never
neither.
been homeless.
He beat all you guys.
Yeah, I've eaten out of the garbage before, and I've told that story already, but never been homeless.
I've lived in my car for a couple of days.
I slept in the car once, but that was by choice and not because I had to.
Yeah.
She wouldn't let you in? Oh, wait a minute. Never mind.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that sucks, yeah.
Yeah, I think, I think this whole situation is really crazy. They don't want their company to sell things to these detention centers. So what should the detention centers have? They want to create the situation so later on they can complain about it.
They can come back.
These people don't have beds.
The government's constantly buying furniture for different things.
Yeah.
So that they're not sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
Probably, but they're probably trying to get some new stuff.
Let me propose this business plan to you dudes. We get these government contracts. We go buy a bunch of IKEA furniture, and we go down there. And while we're down there, we do a temporary work program for the people to assemble their own furniture.
Can we repackage some bullets while we're at it too?
Listen, anything's possible if you can't have Russian markings or whatever. What was the thing in that story? They couldn't have Chinese markings on the ammo or Russian, something like that.
Yeah. When the guys that got arrested, whatever years ago, they couldn't have Chinese markings, so they repacked it into Pakistani boxes or something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. That was a movie.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
That was a movie. So that situation is far from over. Definitely.
Well, I know how to fix the whole thing. Just turn them around right at the border.
No. Did you see the latest thing? So how to fix that is decriminalize border crossings. You didn't see that today?
Yeah. What is that? Is that another
Elizabeth Warren?
Oh, well, of course. Yeah. Well, why don't we have them all camp in her front yard?
I know, right?
See, you know what?
Maybe she'll drink beer with them like she did on her live stream at one time.
Yeah, put them in a room and close the door with Lizzie. See what happens.
See, you guys, I have been saying on air for months the perfect plan for this situation on the border. Nobody wants to listen to me, and then everybody
mute right now for the next 10 seconds.
Hey, wait a minute. Where's Bob Lazar when you need him? Come on.
One day, somebody's gonna steal my idea, and everyone's gonna think it's just freaking genius. But zombies, zombie crisis actors on the border. That's what we need. Damn it, we get some zombies down on that border. People aren't gonna be trying to swim across rivers and jump fences and all that kind of stuff. They're not going to do that when they realize there's zombies on the border. Not going to happen. Yep.
Silence.
See? Can't argue
Was
it.
there, I didn't hear any. Sorry, I zoned out real
Silence is
Okay,
deafening.
go ahead. Laugh at me. This is the plan to fix the immigration problem right there. Zombies.
I think we hire
Zombies.
alien contractors that shapeshift.
No, aliens.
Things like
See,
that.
aliens doesn't do it. Aliens, they might be like, oh my god, we'll get on a spaceship. No, they need zombies. You need some zombies walking down, eating some flesh. You know, just give them like body parts that they're chewing off of. You know, but you just make the body parts out of turkey. You know, and you have the actors down there with the fake blood and all that. Basically, you just get the makeup from like what is it, Walking Dead, and put those mofo's on the border. How much you want to bet, man? Better than any kind of walls or fences that you can imagine. People will go the opposite direction. They will spread the word. You won't see it. And see, like now, like I was reading, there's lots of Africans coming through the border now, man. They're going to Mexico and stuff like that. Africans don't like zombies. I could tell you. I know this from experience. One thing
just put a bunch of rabid dogs.
Maybe you can work as a contractor for the Homeland Security, and you can figure this whole plan out.
I would do this. It sounds crazy. It sounds like I'm just messing around. I am 100% serious.
It does sound crazy. Yes, you picked it right.
Okay.
I think I have another plan.
When you put this on the news, when across the border in Mexico, they're like El Zombios. You know, when they start talking about that, everyone's going to be like, nah, forget this, man.
That'd be a new drink then.
We'll go the other way.
5 minutes would be a new drink.
Yeah. So, anyway, just, you know.
Sorry, everybody. We didn't mean to bring that up again.
Yeah.
But it did.
Okay, everyone's going to just poo-poo my idea, and then one day someone's going to...
Poo-poo is the word. Poo-poo.
Yeah. So, someone's going to take credit for it, just as long as you all know who came up with that one first.
And then there'd have, like Len Holt said, there'd be zombie reparations. Come on.
Zombie reparations.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be... Those crisis actors will get paid.
They'll have to have their union cards and all that stuff too. So.
I mean, I think it's brilliant, man. You take the people who are there now and you dress them up. You bring them some zombie kits. You put the stuff on them, and then so people are like, oh my god, everyone going over there is becoming a zombie. You know,
man.
Thing. Or we go into the secret archives where the real zombie juice actually is, that the government has been keeping from us.
I hear zombie juice or zombie Jews.
Zombie juice, the real.
They're gonna get
zombie,
you.
Zombie
I
juice.
said something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, zombie juice.
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 Juice. Can you say juice? Juice.
JUICE. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
Hank.
what's up?
We've been talking about this for a while, mentioning it on and off about how YouTube has a thing that goes through and translates your video into text, and then if it has something that they don't like, they block it. Like we've discussed that before, and it's only been sort of a conspiracy theory. There's no proof. That video from Project Veritas, the guy actually mentions that is a thing. That's a true to life thing that they do.
Oh yeah.
So they have massive archives of all the content on YouTube that they have a robot. I should say robot. They have a computer learning algorithm that goes through, translates all of it from speech to text, and then if they don't like some of the text, they block it.
Yep.
That's how most of the demonetization goes.
Yeah.
It's not an actual.
We're getting smacked upside the head right now. You guys don't even know how many videos they're going through. I can't actually. I actually can't.
You're never
keep up
gonna.
With it.
You personally, and I say this with the heaviest of heart, will never make money on YouTube ever again. Even if you did at one point, you're never going to make money
I never did.
On the platform itself. It's just
I never did. Even though some people put it out there that were like YouTube millionaires or something. I think I got $300 last month. So there you go. That's pretty much the how that slices out right there. But But yeah, that's happening, and we're getting a bunch of videos getting smacked upside the head. I really actually can't keep up with it, but I am, and I suggest everyone check out Gunstreamer because you can find those videos over there. And Gunstreamer, by the way, is actually monetizing some of the videos because they're getting some companies starting to come on board and do advertising, so that's a good thing. And then they have They have the contributors thing, which works like Patreon, and you can give money. And we're putting all the videos that are getting banned on YouTube into that tier, and we're like asking people to give $3 a month to help us out with those videos that are going over there. Lots of stuff with Walter is getting demonetized. Because they don't want us to talk about stuff. If you talk about, like, if you open up something, Walter, and try to show the people how something works. And I'm not changing. People have suggested I change the way we make the videos. I'm not doing that. I want to show people stuff.
Okay.
See, that's why I am fairly certain, even once I hit that, because Hank's helping me push for 1,000, because that's when you can start monetizing. I don't know that I'll ever turn that on. It's just not. I don't know that.
Okay,
I want
Lola wants to say something. You got to come over here, Lola. We can't hear you.
What I said,
bring your little butt over. Why do you have on a coat?
Because it's freezing in here.
Okay, come on in.
No, I'm not coming.
She doesn't want to show. Okay, what do you want, woman?
All I was saying is that it's not just open up anything. Even the Gould Brothers Trick Shots video that's demonetized.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm going through 2.5 pages of videos that have come up for review, and half of them have already demonetized.
Yeah.
By tomorrow morning, we'll be up to 50 videos right now, and you took down 50 last week.
Yeah. So yeah, they're just going through. There's no way to do anything about it, honestly, guys. They're just gonna keep doing it. Yeah, they're just gonna keep doing it. So
yeah. There's nothing. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do unless maybe the government takes them to bat and says stop censoring conservatives. Which who knows?
And they'll say they're not.
Yeah,
that'll be it.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
yeah,
nothing's gonna change.
Yeah,
unless there's like a fire at their headquarters and their servers all destroyed or something like that.
God, have you ever seen their server farms?
No,
they're like Fort Knox.
Yeah, I guess.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I really like that wood folding stock. I'm back. That's from the AK Concern too, actually. So.
Yeah, that's always
I like that. That's pretty as a moat.
There's never been a wood folding stock. There's
been ones that people have made, and you've seen them made over in Pakistan and stuff like that. But
okay.
I don't think officially it was ever a side folding wooden stock. So.
Yeah.
But it's Pam.
Yeah.
It's pretty as.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Drudge Report. You see Drudge Report right now. Circus comes to Miami. How nasty will it get? Warned not to hog the time.
Oh, is that about they're having the Democratic debates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God!
All those people out there thinking they're going to be president.
How much?
I told you before that they're all cannon fodder.
Yeah.
They're all cannon fodder. That's all those wannabes are.
Man found alive in bear den? What the hell? He looks like he shouldn't be alive. What?
Where you at? You on Fox News or something?
Yeah, Drudge Report.
Drudge Report.
Siberian Times. The emaciated man from Russia's remote Republic of Tuva was perceived as tin can food to eat later by a brown bear, says local reports in the region. So a bear drugged this guy in Siberia off to his cave and left him to die so he could eat him later, and they found him. Holy crap.
They found the guy?
They found the guy and he's alive.
Does he have all his body parts?
Well, I can only see from the torso up, but he's got arms and torso.
That sounds like from Star Wars.
Oh, and I linked this in chat for everybody, or for Hank. I thought this was funny. From the Babylon Bee, which we know is the most reliable source on the internet. Google rep issues heartfelt apology for anti-conservative bias while wearing "Kill All Republicans" t-shirt.
Is that a real thing?
No, it's Babylon Bee is like the Onion. It's like the conservative Onion.
Okay.
I just thought that was a funny one.
Yeah, that is pretty.
Yeah, it's crazy how they just killed the Project Veritas video, and then they had it on Vimeo, and Vimeo killed it too.
Did they really?
Yep.
Oh my God! And they won't give them a reason. It's from my understanding, nobody will give them a reason why they're pulling it down.
Yeah, Len Holt says, "Go watch Ted Cruz questioning the Google execs. Hilarious."
Beautiful. Ted Cruz, and then the other one where, oh God, what's the guy with the eye cap? I can never remember his name. With the eye patch.
Hawthorne? No. Hawthorne?
Whatever his name is. He was grilling him as well, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
I can't believe that Vimeo's pulled them down. Where are they going to go next?
They should get up on Gunstreamer.
Somewhere. They need to put it up somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't Google control a lot of the actual internet itself?
Absolutely.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah.
So are you gonna piss them off so they put a restrainer on your, or are you just gonna play the game with them?
Who?
These other websites and stuff.
I don't know.
So you're gonna have your site throttled back because YouTube puts the shit.
Well,
to
the
you?
person claiming that their privacy was invaded was the Google exec, but
They were in a public setting, and the only thing I can think there is if California has two-party consent laws like we do in Florida, maybe you're in a tough place.
Yeah.
But if it's a one-party consent state and you're in a public location, that's too damn bad.
Yeah. Robert Ayala, the Pants, they all say Dan Crenshaw.
Dan Crenshaw, that's it. Sorry, Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah,
I want him to be president. That guy's a badass.
He's a nut job.
Dan Crenshaw?
Oh, wait, hang on. You're talking about? Is he a Dem?
No,
Dan Crenshaw's
no.
the Republican from
With
Texas.
the eye patch.
Oh no, yeah, he's
veteran.
badass. He's
No,
a SEAL.
Dan
He's
Crenshaw's
a
a
SEAL. Yeah. Oh, speaking of SEAL, you've been following the story about the SEAL's been accused of killing the ISIS guy,
Yeah.
and all the monkey business with that.
Is that the one where
They had him in solitary confinement, and Trump had him taken out of solitary.
Yeah.
And then, but he was accused of stabbing some ISIS guy.
Oh yeah, Edward Gallagher.
Yeah, and he was the chief master.
I don't know how to feel about this because reading through both sides of the story,
It's tough to decipher what actually happened there.
really.
Well, so then what? So guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't.
Yeah. That's why I haven't really gotten into it.
Whatever happens, I think they know this is not going to end.
Yeah,
in a
I know the medic said that that the kid died because he closed
put a thing up.
the breathing. Yeah, he closed off the kid's ability to breathe because he thought he was going to be tortured or something like that, and whatever. So yeah, that's a whole mess, and those guys have to sort it out. It's a mess. For sure.
Part of me likes the idea of our special ops guys being those like no nonsense silent killer types. Like I respect that about them. But this guy, like reading through his history, he seemed kind of crazy. Like in the sense that he was like looking to just kill people, like kill whoever he could. So I don't know. Because you don't know how much of it's true and how much of it is just.
He's really highly decorated. So
yeah, and that's the other thing. He's highly decorated, but
it's a tough deal because there are other SEALs that are accusing him of this and all that.
SEALs are typically the silent ones, so when they come out and accuse, it seems like it's got to be a big deal. It's hard to say.
Supposedly he was kind of an old school hard ass.
And a lot of people didn't like him. See, that's what his side says.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of back and forth. That's why I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Did you hear the story about the guy who just got the Medal of Honor?
I didn't.
Well,
hear
tell us, Walt. Let's hear about that.
Yeah.
He basically cleared a house by himself after being shot twice, I think, and hand grenades going off and chasing the guys around and shooting them, and he dispatched, I think, 4 ISIS guys. And
was he the one that like grabbed one of their guns and killed them with their own firearm?
Yeah, they were a hand-to-hand combat thing. And he ended up taking his knife and just cutting his throat.
Cutting the throat, and then he grabbed an AK and did.
Well,
some
the bad guy hit him in the face with an AK butt.
That's what it is.
He finally got his knife out and just dispatched this.
Total fucking badass.
Mm-hmm. But, you think about that stuff and you go, you know what? When shit starts to go, you just go on autopilot.
You just start killing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, either that or you go.
You do or die. You do or
right.
die.
So you go into this mode where you just go. And here goes rock and roll.
Yeah, I guess in his brain it was, if I don't do this, I'm dead.
Fight or die. Right. Right, so he cleared the house, and they found a bunch of weapons, and you read it and you go, "Holy shit!"
I'm gonna have to read the story.
Mm-hmm.
But this
they document all of these, by the way. If anybody wants to go read them, I think Library of Congress documents every Medal of Honor that's been given out, and they document it with the story of what they did, going all the way back to like Civil War times or since the Medal of Honor came around. So you can go read all of them. I'll find the link.
I think this dude that survived a month in the bear den with a broken spine, I think he needs a Medal of Honor.
God.
He definitely needs a bath. He definitely needs a bath. Yeah. He definitely had the bear shit all over him.
Yeah, he should have eaten that bear.
Man, holy cow, that's on tough cookie there.
Yeah. That's like when you see the stories about like a snake eats an alligator and then the alligator eats his way out. That's like that, right? I don't know if you guys have seen any of those because we have a lot of those going on in the swamps here in Florida. in the what do we call it again? Not we don't call it swamps. What do we call it? The
Everglades.
Everglades, yeah.
Yeah, those big ass pythons down there and stuff. Yeah.
Well, here you guys ready for this? Bolavia distinguished himself by acts of gallantry and intrepidity above and beyond the call of duty on November 10th, 2004, while serving as a squad leader in support of Operation Phantom Fury in Fallujah, Iraq. While clearing a house, a squad from Staff Sergeant Bolavia's platoon became trapped within a room by intense enemy fire coming from a fortified position under the stairs leading to the second floor. Recognizing the immediate severity of the situation and with disregard for his own safety, Staff Sergeant Bolavia retrieved an automatic weapon and entered the doorway of the home to engage the insurgents. With enemy rounds impacting around him, Staff Sergeant Bolavia fired at the enemy position at a cyclic rate, providing cover fire that allowed the squad to break contact and exit the house. A Bradley fighting vehicle was brought forward to suppress the enemy fire. However, due to the high walls surrounding the house, it could not fire directly at the enemy position. Staff Sergeant Bolavia then re-entered the house and again came under intense enemy fire. He observed an enemy insurgent preparing to launch an RPG at his platoon. Recognizing the grave danger the grenade posed to his fellow soldiers, Bolavia assaulted the enemy position, killing one insurgent and wounding another who ran to a different part of the house. Staff Sergeant Bolavia, realizing he had an uncleared, darkened room to his back, moved to clear it. As he entered, an insurgent came down the stairs firing at him. Simultaneously, the previously wounded insurgent reemerged and engaged Staff Sergeant Bolavia. Staff Sergeant Bolavia entering further into the darkened room, returned fire and eliminated both insurgents. Bolavia then received enemy fire from another insurgent emerging from a closet in the darkened room. Exchanging gunfire, Bolavia pursued the enemy up the stairs and killed him. Now on the second floor, Bolavia moved to a door that opened onto the roof. At this point, a fifth insurgent leaped from the third floor onto the second floor roof. Bolavia engaged the sergeant through a window, wounding him in the back and the legs, and caused him to fall off the roof. Acting on instinct to save the members of his platoon from an immediate threat, Bolavia ultimately cleared the entire enemy-filled house, destroyed 4 insurgents, and badly wounded a 5th.
And
holy shit.
And what you just read, they didn't mention he was shot twice in the whole thing.
Yeah, holy shit.
Man,
Yeah,
I mean, you just want to hit pause on that game, you know? Like, hold on.
Yeah, right?
Let me breathe. Let me go get a drink.
No, there is no pause.
I know.
Once it starts, it just goes like...
Yeah, you gotta live through it.
The crazy thing is that probably took place all in the span of 30 seconds. It probably was
probably
just
a few
boom, boom,
minutes,
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And he just reacts. That's awesome.
Rockstar 611 wants to know what's up with Florida. Did we get the laws reversed? No, we didn't. We haven't gotten any gun laws reversed here in Florida.
Not yet.
I know that the sheriff in that county that this school shooting happened did fire 2 more deputies.
Yep.
I saw that today. Yeah, 2 more.
Yeah, because they did not engage the shooter.
Because they did nothing.
Yeah. So we had some crazy ass laws here in Florida, and this had nothing to do with what happened at this school, and we're just finding out all this stuff slowly that's leaking out that these guys didn't go in, they didn't engage.
And 9 times out of 10, when you engage a shooter, they either shoot themselves or they run.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10.
So yeah, I mean, we're still, we would like to see these things overturned here in Florida.
There's probably lawsuits have been filed, and none of that goes quickly. So
yeah, it's gonna take. We had a guy on that was fighting bump stocks here in Florida. There's different people who are fighting this. We try to help get people elected, like how we were talking about the woman that's in charge of CCWs. We were trying to help get folks elected to that, but we just didn't get enough people to pay attention, to what was going on here in Florida. So now maybe they're suffering through these things, though.
It was out of our hands as well, because our politicians that we had elected to represent us have all decided that they were going to go along with it anyways, no matter what any of us said. Because believe me, Hank and I went after our local politician very heavily for it, and he 100% already had his mind made up.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing, and I'm going to try to talk my way out of it, but even after I leave, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, we definitely need shakeups here, and we need to try to get those reversals. But it's going to take people in Florida waking up and actually voting.
Seriously.
You know, so that's
And
what needs to happen.
don't all you mad gun guys, don't sit at home when it comes time to vote. Please.
Don't let Google tell you who to, you know, don't let them
listen
tell you to
the-
stay home. Don't let them tell you who to vote for.
Don't listen to the polls, guys, because the polls are telling you just like before the last election. Oh yeah. No, don't listen to the polls.
Yeah.
Go out and vote. Vote for somebody. Go out and vote.
Yeah. Get out there, do your own thing, man. Make up your own mind, you know?
Don't sit at home and pout.
Yeah.
Pouting don't get you nowhere.
No, you got to get out there and do your thing. But, you know, that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. We're trying to keep up with all this stuff. We'll be here through all of that, trying to talk to people and get them out, not just here in Florida, but all over the country. You know?
All over the world.
Yes.
All over the world.
We are going worldwide. The podcast, the live thing, it's mostly people here in America, but the audio podcast is going out to there's people in Australia, man. It's, you know, it's going all over
If
the
you're
world.
sitting there in England at 2:00 in the morning watching this now, God bless you.
Yeah. We do. We
God
have
bless.
Richard Monders on sometimes. I don't know if he's probably
God bless you. God bless
Yeah, I
you.
saw him in the chat. Shout out.
Because
to
that
him.
night I was tired as a motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Bulls. He was flying on fumes. Only liquor and string was keeping him up.
I had some Red Bull too, but
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to show off this gun that you have there, Walter? I'll give the people a couple of minutes here.
M10X, I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
From M&M Inc. in North Glen, Colorado, USA. M10X.
All right. Very cool.
7.62 by 39.
I got this one right here. This one's from Babyface International with a tulip star on the side. 1969.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah. So check this out. I brought this in, Walter, and I think we've all shot this at one point or another. I know Babyface was doing some stuff with the Sub 2000, with the M Carbo.
Ah, yes.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that fold aside.
So that if you guys could see that there, so you could flip it. Hold on.
Of course, you saw that
To the
suppressed Kel-Tec that was, I think, on the Firearms blog.
Yeah,
You see
someone
that
chopped it off and made it suppressed. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
It's a SBR. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I guess it would be that and that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause it would have two tech stamps then.
It would probably have to. In
Yeah,
that case.
that's silliness. That's crazy too.
Yeah.
To think about it. You know, one of the crazy thing I'll mention here, because I'm a
Okay.
car guy, and anybody who's a car guy that wants to import something, if the car is not 25 years or older, you got to meet the current safety and emission stuff. So naturally, it's very expensive to do, and most person can't do it. So you have to import vehicles that are 25 years old. You know why we have that law?
Why?
Because Mercedes and Porsche and them complained about it in the early 80s that you could buy a car cheaper in Europe and import it to the U.S. and those foreign car companies got protection, right?
Of course.
So why do we still have this law? Why do we still have to wait 25 years to buy a fucking car? Now, cars are not cheaper in Europe, by the way. Everybody know. Not new cars, anyways.
No, people don't go through cars as quickly in Europe either,
Well,
as we do here in the Americas.
but to import a used military vehicle like a Defender, it's got to be 25 years old. There's hundreds of them over there for sale that are not 25 years old.
Did you see that they're coming out with a new Defender here in America? They're coming out with a new one?
I did hear that, yes.
Yeah,
I did hear
the
that.
test mule is out there already in America. It's driving around.
Somebody leaked a
Camo.
picture of it or something. I
Yeah,
heard.
it's going to be about $80,000-$90,000, I think.
Well, the 25 year thing. If I could do something, I know gun stuff's important, but if I could get rid of something, that just and besides that, there's a 25% duty. So if I buy a 9,000 pound Defender over there, I got to pay a 25% duty to bring it in. Now do the math.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
crazy.
jack.
Yeah. If
I mean, it's like,
yeah,
why?
yeah,
Funny part is, I was told by the guy at the one dealer place, if it's an ambulance, it's only 2%.
This was an ambulance. We used it to save people.
Ain't a big red star on the
Yeah.
side. Across on the
yeah. Make that bad boy an ambulance. Yeah, it's so crazy. We do a lot of crazy things. It's just like how we cash for clunkers. That's one of the stupidest things
Oh, that was a rack. Oh,
in
God,
history. one of the most destructive things to the car world.
One
So
of
many
Obama's,
beautiful cars were lost in that melee.
And wasted all of our money.
And one of Obama's boondoggles.
Yeah. Horrible.
And at
thing
that,
happened.
it's now 9:04.
Yes, it's 9:04. Okay, yes, let's
let's
wrap it up here. Let's start with Babyface P. How can the folks out there get in touch? You're like 800 plus subscribers, man.
I'm 805 right now. I'm getting close. I'm getting close to that 1,000 mark.
Yeah.
Babyface P on YouTube. I used to say Instagram first, but I'm gonna go with YouTube this time. Babyface P on YouTube. Babyface P on YouTube. Go subscribe. I'm gonna be doing a lot of videos on things that may not be done by a lot of other people because of monetization stuff. Not trying to take a stab at you, Hank. That's the way it is.
I know. This is why you will never get monetized.
Exactly. I'll probably never be monetized, but that's fine because it's fun for me. So we're building an AK right now, and there's some cool videos. I'll probably get that edited and up tonight. So you'll probably see a new video come out tonight about welding in rails. We'll get that done. Besides that, if you want to find me on Instagram, it's baby_faceP on Instagram. And you're going to see a lot of pictures of the dog and I.
Yeah.
And some guns.
What is your Facebook? Because I've been trying to find it and I can't find it.
It's Babyface P on Facebook, but I haven't been pimping that. So let me make sure that's
exactly?
what it is.
Is it an underscore? Is it a dash? Because I can't ever find it.
Baby space face space P.
Oh, okay.
So you'll figure out which is the right one if you go look.
Yeah. It has your logo.
Yeah, it's got the logo.
Eventually we'll get that. Eventually we'll get that to populate when people, because it doesn't come up when I look for it. So, we'll make.
Here we go. It's now Babyface P1 because the original was taken.
Oh, okay.
So I just did a thing at Babyface P1. That is my Facebook.
Okay. All right. Cool. Walter, how can the people get in touch with you out there?
Well, if we're talking YouTube, you can go to Safety Harbor Firearms on YouTube, or you can go to Mower Death on YouTube.
They were also on Gunstreamer, all those videos.
And on Gunstreamer, and
Gunstreamer too.
And I signed up for some other obscure place today. I don't remember what his name is right now, but
BitChute or something.
One of those American Gun Chicks over there. I saw a video and I saw a place.
Probably BitChute.
Something like that. Yeah. Also on Facebook, Safety Harbor Firearms. On Instagram, Safety Harbor Firearms. And there's some Twitter stuff which gets posted when I post on Instagram. So just keep watching.
Yeah. Make sure you check these guys out and follow them. I want to give a shout out to Harry's Holsters. Just saw him come in. He's also sponsoring the show, so shout out to Harry's Holsters. Always good when we have him on, but we do use his holsters, except for Walter, who is a non-holster guy, but we got to get him a Harry's holster.
Well, you never know. You never know.
We got to get him into Harry's holsters. So shout out for them. Thanks for them to them for looking out for us, as well as Safety Harbor Firearms, of course.
I should do that.
Yeah,
I think I'd get more followers if I created a Pornhub for myself. I'm going to do that right now.
Oh, my God.
And upload my videos to it.
Yeah.
Pornhub?
I'm making a Pornhub.
Oh,
sign up.
Hey, Hank Strange, keep an eye out for envelope coming your way.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Did you also bring me back a Defender? I'm just saying.
I ain't bring my back self a Defender. How am I gonna bring you a Defender? Well,
you can surprise me, man. Okay, fine. I'll take whatever I could get.
Give me some time. Well,
a little toy Defender, whatever. It all works.
That's not right. That's not right.
Yeah. So listen, I want to thank Harry's Holsters. I want to thank all you guys for watching the show. Tomorrow we have actually. We got Walther Arms, I think, coming on tomorrow, and Mr. Hootie Hoo, I think. Babyface and Walter won't be here unless you guys want to. I don't know. It's up to you. But
I've got something to do tomorrow.
Yeah. So there you go.
I'm setting up my Pornhub account right now, and there's some things that you pick. You
don't
pick
get
what
lost.
you like.
Don't get lost.
There's some stuff here.
Don't get lost. So, tunnel vision.
Baby, so everybody out there, baby_faceP on Pornhub. I'll start uploading my videos there. If you go from one thing to the next, you want to watch some machine porn after watching whatever, just go ahead.
Yeah, Babyface, he'll take what he can get. He can take what he can get.
Watch Babyface touch his lathe spindle.
Yeah,
that's right.
Make your
Spin it up.
Make your video pitch on Pornhub for those boobies. I bet you get the money together.
That's right.
Also, don't forget to check out the YouTube /Hank Strange. We got a new video that went up there that you might be interested in. basically to explain some nonsense that's been going on lately a little bit. So we got that. Listen, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We're out of here. Thanks a lot for joining us. Peace. We are out.
Bye.